Hey y'all, welcome back to Kicking It with K-Rob. It is your host, K-Rob. And today's episode is a spinoff of last time I did an episode about dating back in the day. I interviewed my parents, so y'all go check the episode out on my page and on YouTube. And so today we're going to do an episode about dating in the year 2023. I have two special guests and they finna get on here. Give me a second because y'all know how I do. Alright y'all, hold on just a second. Y'all, come on. Do I need to invite y'all? Or y'all, okay, invite. Accept. Okay. Okay, there we go. There we go. Had technical
Back at
difficulties
it.
the first time, y'all, but we got it. So, like I was saying before, technical difficulties. Yeah, this is my best friend Tiara here and Rich. Tiara, that's Rich, another fellow podcaster of mine. And Rich, go ahead and tell the people what your podcast is about. Well, y'all podcast.
Yeah. Culture Guard podcast pretty much is a podcast where we get to celebrate Black culture, Black film, or I won't say culture, but film, television shows, filmmakers, actors, the whole nine. You know, there's classics that we have within our culture that nobody really discusses mainstream, so we wanted to make a space for that. And we also discuss, like I said, television shows, whether they're past, whether they're current. We got a couple going on right now with our We Got Y'all feed. Shout out to my co-host School. That's my little brother, and Ray P, the incomparable Ray P. She's incredible. Like, she's a star. I love Ray P. So
Is
shout
he
out to
your
both of them.
blood brother? School? Oh,
We
okay.
first
Okay. I
cut. We
was
first
wondering.
cousins. Yeah, but we. Yeah. But we,
Period.
that's just kind of how it is. Yeah, that's little bro. Yeah, same grandparents, same high school, same school. Like, we grew up together, so it's
Period.
the same
Y'all,
thing. It's
you
just
grew
like
up
that.
in Ohio? Okay. Cincinnati. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, Cincinnati.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, so yeah, okay. So we're gonna dive into today's topic. Valentine's Day. When was it? Tuesday. So, how was y'all feeling on Valentine's Day this year?
Yeah, I was good. Honestly,
Chilling.
I was just like, it was a regular Tuesday
Yeah.
to me. I came home, did my regular routine. I chilled. It was nothing for me.
Was it hard being on social media, like all these couples?
Not at all. Not at all. I think
Just
I've
like
gotten to the point where I realized everything's not what it seems on social media. So I didn't feel no kind of way.
period. I didn't either until my dad asked me. He was like, "Y'all don't got no boyfriends, nothing." Because we had one out to eat, and I was just like, "If I did, I wouldn't be here.
Right.
I wouldn't be here if I did have one." But anyways, okay. So y'all ready for the first question? Okay. What is
Sure.
y'all's definition of dating?
Go ahead, Rich. I'll let you answer first.
Yeah, just definition of dating, just getting to know someone, just someone you might find interesting in. It doesn't really, I think one thing that's get confused is like chemistry doesn't have to be romantic. You know, it can be a lot of different things. Like you date your friends. Like I'm sure people get together with their friends and try to set time like once a month or once every couple of weeks to get together and just kind of catch up on each other's lives, get to know what's going on. So it's the same thing. Romantically, just want to know if you got chemistry, if you guys connect on the same things. I think you have to be friends first and really build that foundation. Now, granted, like this is coming from someone who's not like a relationship expert by any means, so like take this with a grain of salt, however you want to. But you really have to build that foundation of friendship, and that's where it starts. It starts by dating. Like, what do you like to do? Like, what are your interests? Like, what's your love language? You might be doing something for somebody who's not even their love language, and they don't care about it. Like, you got to learn all those things. It takes time. So that's pretty
And
much
I'm
what dating
going to
is to
piggyback
me.
off of Rich. I completely agree with everything you said, but I'll go a little further. I think dating is like the ultimate compatibility test. I think sometimes we put a lot of pressure on, like, okay, I'm dating this person, so it has to work. And it's like, I might date you, go out with you, hang out with you, and you might be better off as a friend. So I don't think it necessarily has to be romantic, but it can involve romantic settings because, you're trying to see if that person is compatible. So you're like, okay, let's go dinner. Let's go to the movies. I want to see what you're like outside of your typical comfort zone, because learning somebody outside is the ultimate test. I need to see how you treat the waitress. I need to see how you treat people in general, because if not, I'm like, this ain't gonna work. So I think it's the ultimate compatibility test.
I agree with both of y'all, but for me, I feel like in order for somebody to date me, I don't mean to sound shallow or nothing, but because I've learned or whatever else, in order to date me, you're gonna have to spend money on me. I don't care how much, but you're gonna have to ask me out on dates. We're not gonna be what is it called, a situationship or a text. Like I'm not your pen pal. You're gonna have to take me out. Like if I'm your pen pal and dating is not the same. And past mistakes, I've learned. I've had pen pals. That's all I've had.
Yeah.
That's all I've had. And I've never dated, like, you know. So yeah.
Let me ask you something, and that's fair. Like it's always fair to for anybody to put down like what they're expecting and be upfront about that. Is that like in general? Is that something that you're talking about like off the rip, or are you talking about strictly like I know me and this person could potentially have something, so in order for them to get to know me, or if it's just like I said, some friendship type thing,
Me
you
and
expect
my
the same
friends, we go
thing.
out all the
Like
time.
what's your
So like we go outside of our
yeah?
house. I don't know about all the time, but we do go out.
Okay, got
But
you.
now learning what I know now, I'm not gonna just text you and FaceTime you for a week or two and nothing come out of that. That's not dating to me.
Would you hit someone up and like, yo, I'm trying to see you. What's up? Let's
A
go to such and
guy,
such, and you pay for it?
would I do it first?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Not maybe not the first interaction, but like, let's say you went out twice. Like, if you
Yeah,
wanted
if
to
he
see
made an
him, would
initiative
you hit him up and ask him like,
to do so the
yo, I'm trying
first
to see
time, then
you?
yeah, I would. Yeah, I
Okay,
would.
I got you.
But
I
the
was just
first
curious.
time, no, I'm not asking you out on a date the first time. I'm not doing it. Nope.
That's fair. They say the women that shoot
Been
they
there,
shot,
done
you
that.
know, they
Been there,
they say the
done
success
that.
right.
You
Look,
ain't
she
shot
rolled her eyes.
Exactly.
nothing.
Nope.
I mean, it works sometimes. It does
Oh
work,
snap.
but
How do you
nah.
feel about women shooting a shot at you first? Do you care, or do you want to be like the leader? Not the leader, but I guess leader. I don't know. I can't think of the word right now.
I don't know. I just look at everything as conversation. We can see what happens. Like I don't look at it like them shooting they shot like it's trying to be like we can hang, we can kick it and see what's up. Like maybe not. I don't really get into because I'm not. My whole mindset isn't thinking like, oh, this is somebody I can be with. Like I said, it's really foundational. Like what you about? Like I could meet you the first time and just be like, nah, I'm cool. And plus, I'm pretty like I know when I'm like interested. I move to the beat of my own drum a lot. So when I get that spark, I pay attention to it.
Mm,
So it's a little bit different.
okay. So, what is y'all definition of being single? I just thought about this question, by the way. So y'all didn't get this question.
um, I think for me, I mean, if I'm not in a relationship, I'm single. Even if I'm dating someone or multiple people, I'm still single until somebody makes it official. But I think more so, I found myself like in a lot of single phases where I'm not dealing with anybody, like no one. That's what singleness is for me, when I'm not dealing with anybody.
Rich.
I mean, I
Okay.
pretty much agree.
Do you
Just
consider someone
doing your own
who's
thing. Um,
thinking about, or somebody who's texting an ex here and there? Do you consider them to be single?
yeah, if they're not in a relationship, if
If
you
you
ain't
want to go
married, you
that far,
single
yeah.
for real. But that's just on the legal. Yeah, if you want to go that far, you can say that. But yeah, if you're single, if you single, like if you texting your ex and you ain't got nothing else going on, you can have five different people. That's dating. Like I don't mean anybody can like claim you, like or
Some
possess you or whatever the case may be. So until you actually like, yo, I'm with you, like you guys have a mutual understanding. That's one thing about relationships. It doesn't matter what everybody else thinks as long as it works for you two and you got your own understanding. When you got that established, it's all good. But until then,
mm,
do
I
what
feel
you
like,
need.
well, I was gonna say, I feel like some people who are exes of people who are dating, they don't think that person is single. They don't know the definition of single to that person, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so
What
like,
you mean?
let's just say a couple broke up, and the guy he doing what he want to do, but the girl she telling people that they still together.
That's
That's on her.
That's
Why she saying
another
that?
illusion in there. Because if we're over, we're broken up. Now the feelings and
Yeah,
stuff
why
might
she,
still be there, yes, of course. But if there's no title, we're not officially committed. Y'all are both single, but you can get your feelings hurt by being emotionally attached. Yes, but babes, you're single. You are very single. He is single. You are single.
Mm. Okay, I was just
100%.
asking. Okay, so what age did y'all start dating?
I officially started dating like because I feel like I entered my relationship phase before I actually started dating and knowing what dating really was. So I was in relationships like in high school, but I didn't really start dating until like college, like 18, 19. Like
Mm.
taking dating and understanding what it meant for me a little more serious until like 18, 19. So I kind of did it back.
Yeah, I mean dating, like I would say 16. Like
Oh,
when
period.
I got my
They was
first
on and
car and
popping
stuff
with
like
that
that,
car.
and actually being able to do, yeah, like when I was actually able to do something, plan something, set something up, like it was different. Middle school we did little shit
Right,
like get dropped off at the movie theater by your parents, meet the
right.
girl up there. That's not dating. That's just on some like, young shit. But like dating, but I would say dating with like actual intent. I mean, that's probably my early 20s, like of actually doing something like late teens, early 20s, those college years when you actually like, all right, then I'm trying to like, this is my person type thing. But yeah, high school
Baby
dating,
puppy
that was
love.
just some, you know, yeah,
Okay,
exactly,
so
exactly.
Lex said he probably leading her on, which I agree with that. Well, to the previous question, like the whole ex situation, I do agree with that. He probably telling her that they together, but to him, he's single. And then Nadia said, I think the depth of the dating is the difference. Single and dating and exclusively dating. Wait, I'm confused. Let me read that again. The dating is the difference. Mm, I don't get
I get
that.
what she's saying because it's different. Like dating somebody is just hanging out, like you could be dating multiple people at one time. But when you're
Mm-hmm.
exclusively dating, it's like, okay, I'm gonna focus on just this one person and I want to put all my focus and attention on you and see where that goes. So that's the difference between like exclusively dating, like it's just us, and you could be dating 10 people if you
I
want
don't
to.
think exclusively dating should be a thing. I think that should just be called in a relationship. Drop the dating. We just in a relationship. Because I feel like that wording makes it complicated. Exclusively dating. Because dating is like, know, still, I don't know. It's misleading to me. Just say you're in a relationship or that's my boyfriend and girlfriend, or we boyfriend and girlfriends.
So that goes back to what I was saying earlier. That's why it's important for the two people who are in the relationship or whatever you want
Right.
to call it to establish whatever it's going to be between themselves, so there's no confusion.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, you get stuff like that. And you could say, maybe you could say we exclusively date and you both on the
Yeah.
same page about that, and that's cool. Or you call it a relationship. It's really whatever you want to call it, but the whole like point of it is you on the same page and you both know what's going on. Like I think somebody said a comment about they probably leading her on, like that's what happens when you're not upfront and honest about things. Um, so yeah, I mean that's a whole different conversation, but yeah,
But I think you
it
can.
don't matter
I
as long
think
as you
I
two
don't really see the
understand.
problem with exclusively dating. I will say that I've had my fair share of exclusively dating because, like, it wasn't necessarily like at the relationship level, but I did want to focus my attention and kind of see where it goes. Like, okay, I really like you. I enjoy spending time with you. I don't want to keep, diddling and dabbling with everybody else. Let's see if we're compatible enough to take it to the next level to get to the relationship. We might be 2 months in, and I'm like, okay, like I want to take you serious, but we're not to the point where it's like, yeah, we're together because we're still learning. There's still, things that we're unlearning or relearning, getting to know, discover. So I think exclusively dating is fine as long as that is discussed.
I mean, you want to go ahead.
And to I was gonna say to piggyback off Tierra, like it takes time to know people, like for real, know 'em. Like really kind of peel back a few layers and get to know a few things about them that they might not
Yeah.
show up front. So uh, a lot of people hop into things like real quick because things seem cool and they good, but you got to hit some adversity. You got to
Yeah.
really see people in some different elements before hang out with them around their friends, hang around them around their family, like see what happens when they get upset. think Tierra mentioned earlier, like how they treat people when you out, like all that kind of stuff. Like sometimes it might take 2, 3 months. So
I
then you in a
hate
relationship and you realize, oh, I don't even like this
first.
person. This person who I thought it was.
But
Now I'm
like,
trying to
what's so
backpedal.
bad about breaking up?
So
I feel like a lot of people today feel like breaking up is like getting a divorce. It's not the same thing. Just like, well, we're not working out. Okay, it's over. Versus you gonna be done with that person if you exclusively dating or not.
And I agree with your point to a certain extent, because I feel like to be in a relationship, that's a lot more intimate. You know what I'm saying? Like exclusively dating is intimate, but when you add that relationship title, like you in a certain kind of way, like certain things to that person that you're in a relationship with. Whereas if you're exclusively dating, like you don't have to just expose like everything at one time. So I feel like a relationship kind of puts a strain jumping into one too soon. It kind of creates that strain. It's like, okay, well, I have to do this, or I have to do this because, we already said we love each other. We already agreed to be in a relationship. Whereas if you're dating, it's like, okay, well, this no longer serves me. I'm able to just walk away.
You can
I
walk
mean,
away from a
I'm
boyfriend
not,
too.
and I didn't negate what you said. I agree with that, but I think adding that relationship or that title, it just is a little different.
Mm, I don't know. It's the getting to know each other, we dating. I feel like after dating and we like each other, you like me. Okay, ask me to be your girlfriend, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's it.
yeah, but you don't want to be somebody's girlfriend and then 2 weeks later you break up with them already. You dated longer than y'all was
Yeah, but
boyfriend
why not?
girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? Like
If my feelings
that's
involved
what
anyway,
I mean.
Yeah.
like
True,
I
either
fair,
agree.
way it go, it's just the
fair.
title. I didn't go to the courtroom. Nobody know that but me and him. And maybe it depends if you post pictures or not. I feel like that's where it gets a little, that depends. Cause then people like, y'all, damn, y'all just, got together. Now y'all broken up. But if it ain't for the pictures, then nobody gonna know besides family and friends. And your heart, that's broke.
Because your heart gonna get broke regardless.
That's my point. But I
I
will
agree
be
and I
I
disagree.
will be your girlfriend. Oh, I exclusively dated her. Yeah, well, you know, but with the girlfriend, I don't know. I guess you could be, what's the word? Monogamous in an exclusive dating relationship. What do you call it? Just we exclusively dated.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
Okay,
that's what that is, though. When you're exclusively dating someone, it's monogamous. It's just the both of
yeah,
you.
just without the title. I feel like it's okay. So what's the difference between a situationship and exclusively dating?
I think that's just something that pop culture came up with. I'm not even gonna lie to you. I think situationships is literally just something that pop culture came up with.
But what is your definition though? Do you have a definition?
Same thing. Because I feel like if a situationship is essentially the same thing as dating someone. We just gave it a new title, just like the whole talking stage. And now it's the talking stage, it's dating, it's all intertwined.
Rich, what you got to say?
I mean, what whatever, man. Situationships is like they are what they are. I think it probably gives people more freedom to do what they want to with different people because there's no like defined
Yeah.
limits. Like everything I just said earlier is the opposite of like we're not going to talk about anything. There's no real limits, and we just gonna
Been there,
walk in
done
that
that,
unknown
y'all.
gray area,
Dangerous.
and somebody gonna get their feelings hurt. Yeah, somebody gonna get their feelings hurt, and
That's true.
nobody knows when to pull out. Nobody knows, what's going on. Is this something that's gonna be long term? If it's not,
Hey, Rob, I ain't
this
going
shit
back.
stretched out.
I ain't going back.
So
I ain't going back. Mm-mm.
I mean, and that thing like exclusive is the key word in exclusive dating. Like exclusively means like I'm dating this one
You
person.
can have a couple of
Situationship
those.
shit, shit. You know.
I
Yeah,
think
you got a couple of them like
situationships and friends with benefits are pretty much the same thing. There's no real end goal
yeah,
with either one of
pretty much.
those.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I guess. I mean, I guess y'all kind of already answered this question. Were you allowed to date as a teenager? Is that? So, Rich, your answer is yes. Sierra,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
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 Yeah. My parents never really created like I'm not gonna say they didn't care, but they weren't like, oh no, dating till you're 26. Like, no, I never heard that. My parents, sat me down, told me to be responsible, but they never really put those type of boundaries up about dating.
Okay. Why do y'all feel like it's a double standard when it comes to girls dating versus guys dating? Like in the same household, like if you had a sibling or just, in society in general. Like boys have more freedom to do things earlier on in life than girls do. Why do y'all think that is?
Misogyny.
I'm about to say, I don't even know if I can speak to that firsthand. I don't think I've ever seen it. Like firsthand, I haven't seen it. Like, my sister, we got a pretty nice age gap, but my sister was able to date. I remember she had a boyfriend in high school and things like that. So it wasn't anything that maybe I don't know, but I don't recall seeing anything like
I want you to ask
firsthand.
her.
But I'm sure, yeah, I'm sure misogyny.
Because
Yeah, yeah, I
I know
will.
for me,
I will.
huh?
I'm sure it's different. I said I'm sure it's different, like, but you know, maybe I'm
Right.
on that
The
side of
privilege.
speaking as a point of
The
privilege of
privilege
being a
side.
dude, you know.
Right.
So I'll acknowledge
Because
I'll acknowledge
like I said on the last episode, I have a brother, and like
that.
I feel like he was able to do any and everything, any time of night. Me, never. But this was at my grandparents' house. But still, like I feel like if I had a brother, well, no, my parents, no, they weren't strict on me like coming up as far as boys and stuff like that, or my sisters. As a matter of fact, I guess they just wanted to know your whereabouts. That's pretty much it. And safety
But I
first.
think from a general standpoint, like what the difference
That's fair.
is like at a young age, typically the boys are groomed to, or encouraged rather, to have, girlfriends, or, you got a girlfriend, how many girlfriends you got? Like those kind of conversations happen at a very young age. Like they get round of applause for that. Whereas little girls like, okay, even at the age of like 2, 3, I've seen on social media parents like, you're not allowed to date till you're 35 and stuff like that. I think that is embedded at a very young age because they hold women to a certain standard. Like you're supposed to be classy. You're not supposed to be doing all that. You're not supposed to, and boys just have the freedom to just run around and do.
Yeah.
Hold on. Hold on. Who's making the videos about you can't date till you're
Yeah.
35? It's usually dads with their girls, right? Yeah, they
Well,
doing that because they know niggas ain't shit. They know what's up.
but
That's why it
here's the
is because
thing
they
though.
be
So
on trash too. So I
the
don't
same
think it's more
parent, say
so.
it's the dad that's
Go ahead,
saying
go
that to
ahead.
the little girl and has a son. So he's saying that to the little girl, like, oh, you're not allowed to date till you're 35. And he has a son, and he's like, oh, how many girlfriends you got? Or how many, like it's in the same household. So it's like you talk about niggas ain't shit, but you raising somebody to have.
But that's my thing. It's not. I said that because I don't think it's because they're looking at women to be classy or certain thing. They just know what's like a dad know what's out there, like, and they know what type of trash dudes be on. So they want to make sure they shield their daughter from that. It's a weird contradiction. I don't have any kids, but I know like dudes with kids that like or daughters in particular that have lived a life, and then they start thinking about all the stuff they've done like to
Yeah.
women, and then obviously you see that to your daughter, and it changes things for you. Sometimes, unfortunately, it takes that to get that perspective, but it's a real thing.
Yeah.
So I know obviously it's a joke. It's not a like to be taken serious. I know they're not
Yeah.
shackling people up to their 35 and saying you can't date, but I think a lot of that's the perspective of like,
Yeah.
damn,
But I
like
think some
it's real
moms
out
do
here
it
in these
too.
streets.
Some
So
moms are very guilty of having that mom and son type of relationship, and it's like, oh, the son can do whatever and the little girl has to, no, you can't date, you got to stay at home, you got to do the dishes and fold laundry. It's like the son is like, hey mom, I'm out, I got a date. Okay son, have a good time, be home by 10. Yeah,
that's
that
really
is
still
still
going on
happening to this very day.
for real.
Or they'll be like, who your little girlfriend? And mama, I think I already did an episode about emotional incest.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a whole, different ball game when that type of stuff is involved, but it's still happening when it comes to stuff like that. And my dad, he did tell me like whenever he had me that like his perspective on how he treated women changed. I'm like, it shouldn't have been like that to begin with. It shouldn't have taken you to have a daughter to realize that niggas ain't shit. You knew you wasn't shit. You still ain't changed, and now all of a sudden you want to change because you got me. Yeah, okay. Let's come on now. I feel like men in general, they need to change their mindset starting today, because if you're having sex, you can get a girl pregnant today and you can have a daughter tomorrow. So I feel like, why not let that, change right now? And then what about sorry, Rich. But I'm just saying, like, guys, they have moms too and sisters, and y'all don't really be thinking about them either. You just gotta have a daughter because she's so young and fragile. Come on now, come on. Let's not. But yeah, that's just my little hot take on that. Why I feel like, I like it really essentially boils down to misogyny and patriarchy and sexism and all of those isms. It's really what it boils down to. But okay, so have y'all ever talked to y'all parents about dating?
No.
In what regard?
Well, not your personal life, but like their dating life.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, what they had to say, Rich?
It's a little bit different. My mom's she's been she's been married before, so it's like different, like dating as far as they come from a different time. You know what I mean? Where there's a lot more courtship and things. So this millennium dating, and I don't know, man. It's a little bit weird. I guess it's still the same. That's probably the biggest thing I say. I see the similarities between generations, which I wasn't expecting. Like some of the stories that I hear and things like that. So it's kind of like, huh, some things might not change, or it depends on the person. I don't know, man.
Yeah.
It's out.
Do y'all
It's hard to explain.
do y'all feel like we have higher standards than our parents did back then, like back in their days,
Higher standards.
as far as dating and accepting partners? Yeah, and divorcing partners.
Yes.
Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah,
think
yeah. We just don't. I think the generations don't tolerate as much, man. It's just a lot of stuff that just slid by back in the day. The idea was to stay married.
yeah,
It takes work though. I think a lot of people don't want to put in the work to
yeah,
stay married either.
But I also think that it has a lot to do with, in a way, like the way the household was set up. Back then when you got married, the man was pretty much the sole provider. And so women were a lot more inclined to deal with the BS, the cheating, the all of that, because they were at home raising the kids. They weren't really out there having jobs and working and making money. That was left for the man to do, to provide. So I think they were a lot more reluctant to just up and leave and to tolerate it. Whereas now, women and men are out here hustling the same way. You know what I'm saying? So now it's like, I got my own stuff going on. I don't have to put up with what you're doing or lying, cheating. I don't have to deal with that. So I think it's different, but based on, the household dynamic.
Okay, people in the comments, can y'all like elaborate on why? I said, all the standards are the same then and now. All ain't nothing changed. I agree to this. I disagree with that because we had Don't Blame Mr. Charlie. Now we got Glorilla and Megan Thee Stallion. Like, don't blame Mr. Charlie. Mr. Charlie is just a man and he is doing the best he can. In other words, keep that man just for the sake of keeping that man, just because, you know. And I just feel like we see more of what other people have tolerated, I guess. Like, we're supposed to learn if our dating standards are the same as our parents and our parents is the same as our grandparents, we doing something wrong because you're supposed to improve by the generation. So, like, if we're not improving, something's not adding up.
Yo,
Something's not adding up.
shout out. That's my cousin who just left a comment. What's up, Cynthia? What's up with you? She just said that I think this generation gives up too fast, and I think there's probably some truth to that. Like,
I would agree.
Yeah, you know what I mean. You just, the options, I guess, being able to see, and it's all a delusion, low key. Like it's all stuff that's not really tangible, but people think it is. So instead of sticking with what they got, they always look for that grass green on the other side, but it isn't a real thing. Versus sticking with your person. Like I said, it's work. It's work to really stay together, and it's like something to really be, in my opinion, proud of. Like, what I'm saying, it's my dog. This is what I'm gonna ride with. Like through thick and thin. Like this is my person. You know what I mean? That's a whole different bond and a level of relationship. So the fact that people do give up on it quick, that's one thing. Now, sometimes it's bad. You need to step away. There's
Right.
different reasons for people to distance themselves and detach from certain people and relationships. But, irreconcilable differences and all that, like,
Right.
how do things get that bad?
Yeah.
So,
I think people run from adversity rather than like confronting it. Just to piggyback off what Rich said, I think a lot of people are really tough, and it gets a little uncomfortable and it gets a little hot, and it's not in a bad way. It's not like, okay, I need to leave. It's like, oh, I don't want to deal with that. Like, I don't want to confront and face the traumas and the triggers and all of that. So it's just easier for me to just leave. And it's like, you'll never learn that way. You'll never grow. I think people run from adversity. I think it's always, conversation isn't always bad.
Right.
It just takes, effective communication and, vulnerability to kind of get over that. And a lot of people don't want to be vulnerable nowadays. A lot of people
No, because it's not what they're used to. They're used to people just letting them slide everything and everything being oh kumbaya. And the only thing that'll break them up is cheating. No, that's not the only thing that break people up.
Yeah.
Like, like you just said, communication. Oh, Lord. She said, oh, wait, because stuff my grandma went through, baby. And then somebody said, everything is just in our face times 10. It's always been hustling women out here. Okay, so I don't really get when people say like it's easier to cheat today because of social media. I don't understand that. I don't get it.
Nah, it probably would have been easier to cheat back in the day without social media. Yeah, I ain't got. Yeah.
Because it's easy to follow the girl and be like, hey, I've been sleeping with your man. I had to go through hell and high water to find out who's dating who. Now, yes, people find ways. Of course, they're going to find ways to cheat and cheat smart, but I think it was a little easier to get away with it back then.
Yeah, man, you ain't no cell phones back then, man. You can move like 20 miles away and have a whole new life, man. When nobody even know you was there.
Or next door, in front of your house, down the street.
Right. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Same neighborhood, just around the corner.
Dang.
Yeah.
Location. Now there's a location share that you can have. All of that is there.
Do y'all think people are more, I guess the answer is kind of yes, are more accessible now because of social media?
I think that's a facade. Like, yeah, they're accessible as far as like you can reach out to them. That don't mean that you don't get a response or anything like that, or whatever you got in your head that you're looking for. You know what I mean? Like it's man, there's 10 people that you could talk to right now, but you might even be scared to even send them a message to begin with. So people say that and they're like, oh yeah, all these options, but that don't mean nothing will come from it.
Yeah.
Okay, so I have a question, Rich.
Yeah.
Do you how do you feel about being a man and being rejected? Like, do you just shoot your shot anyway, or like, do you care and you hesitate whenever you see a girl? Like,
Nah, you just gotta be upfront. Like I said, it's for. I mean, I honestly mean this. Like, it's just as simple as yo. I'm trying to like see if we can get some time to get to know each other. Like, I don't. It's not a rejection. If you say no, that's no. Okay, cool. Like, at the end of the world, like it's not like I'm saying like, oh snap, I think you to like writing a poem in her DMs. You know what I mean? Expecting all this. Like, yo, I think you're pretty cool. Like, I'd love to get to know a little bit more about you. It's either yes or no. If you want to, cool. If you don't, that's great too.
I feel like a lot of guys today, they're scared and they don't like rejection.
But what my thing is, like, what's for you just will never pass you. Like, you get what I'm saying? So, like, everything that I missed out on, like, it was all intentional, it was for a reason. So I never look at anything like what's meant to happen always does. So I never look at anything like that. Like, it's just, I just wanted to get to know. Like I said, it's different if you in the DMs on some wild shit. You know what I mean? But if you literally on some genuine, like, I just want to see what's up, and it might lead some, might not. But all right, cool. It didn't. They moving
Which,
on
if you
because
don't
it came
already
from a
ask,
genuine
how old
spot.
are you?
36.
Okay.
I just turned 36.
Happy
Oh,
birthday.
yeah.
Appreciate you.
I agree with Ike said. He said, shooters gonna shoot. What you holding the ball for?
Yeah, shoot. Like, go ahead. You never know. Like, honestly, for real, I think everybody should because you never know what's gonna happen. Like I said, as long as it's genuine, you know what I mean. You really got some intention. Like, I've really been like checking you out. I think you're pretty cool. Like, if you're just on some bullshit and wasting somebody's time, that's gonna pick up on it real quick, and it's always gonna be that back and forth, that pen pal thing you were talking about earlier. Like, you know what I mean? Just gonna be back and forth in the DM. So shoot, man, shoot your shot, man. You'd be surprised at what comes up. So I might be feeling you too.
Well, yeah, because Yeah, okay,
I mean, as
I
a woman,
agree.
I'm not opposed to shooting my shot. I don't just out here. I'm not out here just shooting shots. But I don't know. I think once I kind of grew up and realized, like, if I'm interested in somebody, I'm gonna just go for it. It's either gonna work or it's not. But I'm not just out here shooting my shot every time. You're gonna have to make some initiative.
If you don't have no humor, then don't shoot. Exactly. I laugh at everything. To be well, not everything. Some things, but yes, she has always told me to shoot my shot. And I'm
Right.
like, I don't know. Like, it's not giving because if he wanted to, he would. Like, I'm here in your face and you still ain't shot, so it's giving very much no for me. For me, personally, it's giving. Mm-mm.
Everybody got different approaches. They might not know how to approach it, or they might not want to ruin a relationship that's already there. You gotta give people a benefit of the doubt. But yeah, you definitely gotta be, clever. Making some like Big said, man, once she grin, I'm in, game begin. You know what I mean? When a woman starts smiling at you, that's a good thing.
Period. Our friend KJ said me just slam dunk that thing. Okay, KJ, is that what you be doing? You be doing that? You be slam dunking like, what it is, what it ain't? Cause, you know. Okay. So speaking of dating, where do y'all feel like y'all go wrong at when it comes to like, dating? Like where have y'all went wrong in the past?
I feel like I went wrong in the past. Well, I'm a lover, all right? I'm a lover girl. It's in me. I can't help it. But I feel like sometimes like I kind of get in a mind space where I don't I get so clouded and like, oh, this might work, this is probably gonna work. But I don't set the necessary boundaries. Um, and I'm learning that now. I'm like, okay, I didn't set that. I didn't realize that was a boundary that needs to be set. So just kind of like not sticking to my standards and my boundaries. And it's like, okay, well, maybe he can change. Maybe that's just the hiccup. And it's like, no, girl, that's not a hiccup. That's a character flaw. You know what I mean? So it's kind of realizing and leaving as soon as I feel like this is not it. Like, I don't want you. And I kind of sometimes let it go on too long. Yeah. When they say the red flags that you see at the beginning are going to be the reasons that you leave, trust them. Believe that. They will be.
What does Shanti say? All the things that we accept be the things that we regret. And that's amen to Shanti Shakoya Douglas, because that's very facts. Very much true. I feel like for me, I kind of already said it, but like, I just feel like I let niggas like talk to me for so long. Like, why you just talking to me? Like, I'm not your sister. I'm not your mother. I'm not your counselor. I'm not your therapist. Do you want to date me or no? Because like, I know I have good conversation. Now I feel like if you want to have conversation with me, then I'm just kidding, y'all. Don't take me serious. But then start paying me. If you want to talk to me for a month, where the money at? Like, I know I can have good conversation. I could talk a nigga head off and he gonna talk back. But like, so at this point, after the 2-week trial, just say I'm gonna just send you my cash app. I'm gonna just send you my cash app.
Fee. Because it's gonna come with a fee after a while.
Hey, y'all funny, man.
It's gonna come with a fee after a minute. Because what is we doing? Did you find me attractive or no? Like, did you want a homegirl or no? What did you want? Like,
shit,
pen pal. Back to the pen pal. You wanted a pen pal, babes.
Exactly. The money.
All right, so as an elder statesman on this episode, I'll go back and tell you like some things that I would have done differently. Like if I could go back to my younger self, like 15 years ago, 21, 22, whatever the case may be, like the first thing I would tell myself is like make sure you like really got some self-love, like learn how to love yourself before you try to like give that out to somebody else. Like learn some things about you and who you are as a person. Like it takes a while. You still learn that stuff every day. Like, you change with time. So that's really important to focus on yourself first and get to a good space because you can't be good to others if you ain't good to yourself, right?
Woo!
The second thing I would say is like anything that happens, like because you go through a lot of firsts when you're younger. Your first love, your first heartbreak, the whole nine. Like so when that happens, and it's hard to recognize that and be in that space at that time, but like really take some space to like heal from whatever it is you need to heal from. Like one thing about my younger years, like hurt people hurt people. You know what I mean? And you don't even recognize it in the moment, but as you get older and you kind of like go through certain things, it's like damn, like, and that's one of the biggest things I would wish, like, I held space in my 20s for so much like nonsense that I was like, man, I wish I could have just like had enough awareness to get over that, like take the real steps, heal from it, like get past it, and then keep like growing as a man and things like that. So, um, you know, I don't know how many people like jump from one thing to the other and stuff like that, you know, out of one relationship into another. But it's cool to take some time and just take a breather and reset because I'm
Amen.
pretty sure after every person you interact with, you know, that's energy. Energy transfers, you
Absolutely.
know. So you kind of need a time to like reset and kind of regroup. It's no different than acting. You know, people go into these roles and they need a little bit of time to get back to their normal self. Like I've been playing this character for so long. So, like I said, those are two things that I say I definitely wish I could go back and fix that I made mistakes at when I was younger when it came to dating.
Mm-hmm.
Amen. I like that. Self love, young men out there listening, and young women too. Because do y'all agree that like if you don't love yourself, like your partner won't love you?
Yes, to a certain extent, yes. And this has just come from personal experience. I didn't realize that there were certain things that I should have healed from, in past relationships and things that have happened. And, I would get into a situation and it's like, I would want a certain person to show up for me. And it's like, but you're not even showing up for yourself in that area. Like, you have to treat yourself the way you want to be treated too. Um, as far as like, just if I wanted people to take me on a date, I have to put myself on a date first. I have to start dating myself and getting to know myself on a deeper level. Because if you don't, and you don't know yourself in those spaces, then you get into situations and you kind of just accept bare bottom bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, okay, well, I thought that was a good thing. But it's like, in all reality, like, this dude has never bought me a flower. He's never offered to buy me a coffee or just, hey, I thought about you. Like, I got something from you from the grocery store. Like, things like that are small things that matter. I didn't realize that I wasn't even showing up for myself in that way. So I think it definitely plays a huge role. But yeah, that's just my little rant on that.
I forgot a while back. Somebody said you don't necessarily have to like, or maybe I don't know. I don't want to say nothing wrong, but you don't have to love yourself for somebody else to love you. I don't know the reasoning. I don't remember the logic, but I feel like somebody said that on Twitter before. It's like
I mean,
I don't
somebody could
know.
definitely show like you can love someone who doesn't love themselves, but it's just never gonna, you know, it's never gonna fill whatever needs to be filled. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
it'll never
like,
be enough.
yeah, it'll never be enough, and that person will start feeling that. And there's nothing worse than being with someone or being somebody's partner, and then you not, fulfilling whatever your partner needs at the time. And at the same time, there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah,
That's something that
yeah,
they got to go through themselves, and they got to kind of dig through. So that's a weird place to navigate when you're trying to, be there for somebody else while they struggling with whatever they got going on in their own life.
Because that can eventually drag you down, and then that's pulling a strain on a
yeah,
relationship.
Yeah.
My sister said settling, like she feel like she settled in the past. That's what she went wrong.
Yeah,
absolutely.
that's my biggest fear. I talk about that all the time, especially on the pod. Like when we talk about certain movies, like that's my biggest fear. Like we just did the photograph. We just dropped that today, and I don't know if anybody's seen the photograph out there, but it's a dual love story. But the older couple or the older story, this man got married to a whole nother woman, had a whole life with her, but still was in love with this woman for 30 something years. Like, and it was just kind of like I always look at that like, man, I like nah. If the love of somebody I know like is for me is out there, it's like I'm going after it. I can't settle, man, and I just can't.
Same.
Period. Period. Okay, so like, um, how can someone be the one that got away, but they moved on and isn't completely in love? But she's like the one that got away for you, but you're not the one that got away for her. Do you think that's a possibility?
Hold on. So say that again.
Okay, so you heard the saying she was the one or he was the one that got away.
Hmm.
Okay, so I'm saying like let's just say hypothetically, in your situation, there was a girl, she was the one that got away, but she's happily and madly in love with her man now. Like, do you think that y'all were like, I guess soulmates, even though she's in love, like, and moved on? Do you think you were the one that got away to her too? I think I'm wording it right.
That don't have to be the same thing. That could be delusion. Like, you know what I mean? Like I could be delusional and thinking that that was my soulmate, and really it's like, nah. Everybody got a moment. You know what I mean? You got a time, and you got to kind of maximize it. And
Mm.
I'm not saying you can't always bounce back. Because sometimes you just tired. You just um, you let you let it go, and it comes back. Like that's really how you know. But overall, just because I think that's my person, don't mean that I'm the same for them. And you got to accept that and move on and be like aware of it. Now, if it's both sides, you know.
Like
Like people
Monica
know
and
when they
Quincy.
like. You said what?
Like Monica and Quincy.
That was nah. Quincy ain't like Monica like that. Quincy was about to marry that woman, man. If Monica didn't say nothing, he was about to marry that woman. Now
And okay,
he could have been married to somebody who he knew he wasn't supposed to be married to, but he didn't have enough in him to be like, I'm about to stop this. I'm about to go see about Monica. Like he didn't care. He was cool.
I just feel like men just need to stop being scared and speak up.
mm,
You feel like that woman is really the one for you, and she is essentially the one that got away, and you still want to explore and see how things can be because you both have grown up. Go, like, don't, I just go for it. Like, the worst that can happen is no, and you have to move on. But I think,
and every no is closer to a yes. So if her saying no, it's gonna help you get to the right one.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So
Like I said, man, what's meant to happen always does.
yeah, but stop being scared. That is so annoying.
it is very
It
annoying.
is. It's like, just say something. The worst that's gonna happen is a no. And you've heard no many times in your life. Just stop being scared.
And I think your cousin said actually learn from each relationship you're in. Exactly. Parent, friend, co-worker, partner. I agree. Um, gotta love yourself no matter what. You lose yourself in it. I guess like the relationship. So I said, fuck no. She ain't get away. she wasn't supposed to be there. Wait, what you mean by that? So why you go? But okay, so we're gonna need you to elaborate. I don't understand what you mean by that.
What was it?
He said she ain't get away. She wasn't supposed to be there. Beware. So why go back?
Oh, I think pretty much it's saying like going back to what we just mentioned, it was meant to happen always does. Like sometimes if that person was supposed to be for you, maybe she wouldn't be with somebody else to begin with. I think that's what they're trying to say.
Mm.
Like you know what I mean? Sometimes you gotta take that as a sign, like we broke up. Like some breakups are just breakups, like,
Mm-hmm.
and both people gotta accept that and move on. Like one side holding on, man, that's some stalker, true crime shit.
No.
You know what I mean?
It is. It is like you said. I feel like that plays a bit into delusion.
Yeah.
A bit into delusion. Okay, so speaking of, like, we kind of got into this. That was a pet peeve of yours, is not speaking up. What are y'all pet peeves like when it comes to dating in 2023? Did I don't know if was that. I don't know. That just
I
another
would
question.
no. I would just say not being authentic.
Mm-hmm.
Just be yourself, man. Communicate. That's the biggest thing. Communication is key.
Yeah.
Like even if it's communicating saying I don't want to talk right now. You know what I mean? At least communicate that. Like you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It has to be some kind of it's a partnership. It really is. Um, people got to be realistic about not everything's gonna be great. Everything. Some days I just wake up in the mood too. Like I ain't trying to deal with this shit. You know what I mean? But that doesn't mean it might be one rough day, but you got to communicate and understand each other. I might have to say like, yo, I'm not feeling it today. Like it's just one of them days. Other than like, what's wrong? You're not lashing out and stuff. So
Yeah.
that's probably the biggest pet peeve. Like people who don't know how to use their words.
I would wholeheartedly agree with that. Absolutely, 1,020% agree with that. I just feel like effective communication is important because if you are waking up and you're feeling that way, the least you could do is let me know before I start taking how you're acting and responding to me personally. If you're waking up and you're having one of those days, you say, hey, today's one of them days. I just need a little bit of time. And that way you're not trying to force yourself to carry on a conversation that you're not really trying to be a part of. And now it seems like you have an attitude. Now I'm like, well, what did I do? The whole time, it's nothing that I did. You just had a day. Just say, hey, I need a couple hours, and then I can recharge and carry on this conversation. But not doing that creates a bigger problem that's completely avoidable.
Yeah, I mean it's a form of communication, I guess, but like either like holding back information or either lying. To me, like lying, that's the biggest thing for me. It's the biggest thing. I don't. I don't really rock too well with lies because especially if I'm not your girlfriend, I just feel like I'm an easy person to talk to. So there's no reason for you to hold anything back from me unless you got like an alternative motive, and that's not a good one. Then that's why I feel like the only reason people lie. Other than that, like you should come to me. So I feel like that's one of my biggest pet peeves is lying, or either just communicating badly because there's such thing as bad communication. You communicate, but you communicate badly too. Watch who you talking to. What you trying to say? You're not having a good day. Don't ignore me, and watch your tongue. That's really it. Because guys, what these girls say, guys can be sassy these days. Who you talking
No, girl. Also, I would say consistency. Like you said, being authentic. Like, don't show up in the beginning as this one person, and then as time goes, like show up with who you truly are. Because when I come, I'm showing my cards. I'm letting you know this is how I am. Yep. This is how I'm gonna be. Like, these are the things that I'm willing to work on. But don't sit there and be like, oh, I'm willing to work on it. And when it's time to work on it, you ghost and you're not trying to hear it. So show up as who you are in the beginning, so I can make my choice of whether or not I want to continue to do this. But don't be like, oh yeah, I'm this kind of person, and you're really not. Just to kind of try to save face and stick it out with me, because the true colors will come out eventually.
Okay, let's read what the people had to say. Okay, so lack of communication. Somebody says that was the last question. Lack of communication. Must be willing to learn and teach. That's true. Definitely, everybody likes to teach. Well, not everybody like a teacher. Because I feel like there's some people out there who don't like to be taught, and they think they know everything, and that is just not going to work. If you can't be taught, it's not going to work. Because I'm not your last bitch, okay? This is a new one. So this stuff that she like and I don't like, I'm going to let you know. And she may like something and I didn't, or, vice versa. But I'm going to let you know because I'm not going to treat you like my last nigga. Because there's a lot of things that... okay. Somebody said too much communication. Someone who doesn't do anything toward keeping the relationship going. Okay. Period. Yeah.
I would say lack of vulnerability too. That kind of turns me off. Like that turns me all the way off.
My sister cover her face. Yeah, I said what I said. But I feel like it's a lot. I have a lot of pet peeves. I can't really think of any right now though. But quick question. Do y'all think that people settle when it comes to like physical appearance? How much does physical appearance matter to y'all?
A lot. It matters a lot. Now, on a scale of 1 to 10, it matters about a 10. Like, I have to be attracted to you. Like, I have to be attracted to you.
I agree.
Same. Yeah, it's got to be some traction. I got to like what I see. Like, and ain't nothing wrong with that. Like, it's cool.
Because y'all know, like the social medias like to play like it's not all about looks, appearance, and everything. No, but it's gonna get you there. It's not gonna keep you here, but it's gonna get you there.
Because here's the biggest thing, like everybody, like beauty's in the eye of the beholder. That's a real thing. Like not everybody likes. Like I mean, there are some people that probably are universally, quote unquote attractive. Like you know what I'm saying. You put them in front of people, most 10 out of 10 usually gonna say, oh, that's an attractive human being. But like it doesn't matter. Like if I think a woman fine, she fine. I don't care what nobody else think. Like so, yeah. But as long as it works for you, but it does matter. Anybody say it don't matter, they perfect.
Like just lying for no reason. Be serious.
But I honestly do believe y'all that people have settled out there when it comes to appearance because I don't know why, but I feel like they have. I don't know. I have before. I've been pen pals with niggas I didn't find cute. Like, I don't know what was wrong with me, but now I won't do it.
Listen, man, let somebody you don't know for real. Let somebody you don't know for real right now DM you. First thing somebody does is they go to their profile. Absolutely. I'm about to see what this person look like. I don't care. I'm not keeping the conversation up on somebody. I mean, I might keep the conversation up, but I'm not just blindly doing it like, yo, yeah, such and such responding to a message. Like, who is this? What this person look like? Oh, I'm definitely hitting them back. Or you might be like, I might kindly say hello and just, leave them on red.
Right.
But like I said, man, everybody does that.
Yeah. I said girls love a nigga that look like It look like he get girls or he get women. No cap. If she can't kiss, that shit is over with. I think that's what he said. Somebody said shit. Yeah, some niggas can't get a 10. What does that mean? Some niggas can't get a 10, like a girl. Don't
Not like a
nobody be
bad.
like,
I'm assuming that mean bad shit.
okay. Don't nobody be like, oh, he look like he got a good personality.
Some people do. No.
Some people do, y'all. I don't get it. But you ain't gonna
Yeah, I
try to come
think
with that.
yeah. Sometimes I mean, listen, personalities can be strong. Like some people can have like real strong personalities and like be in a relationship. I think everybody's at least once in their life has said like how this person get that person.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like just from
Yeah.
aesthetically, it doesn't make sense
Yeah.
to you, but like I said, relationships just got to make sense to two people. So,
That's true.
um, somebody can just be that person, like just be funny, do whatever they need, whatever that other person needs, they fill that void, and it just happens to work for them.
And I think sometimes attraction does grow with time too. Like he might not, or he or she might not be like, a 10 out of 10 initially, but like through learning that person, having conversations, you start turning your head like, oh, you actually are kind of cute. Like you fun now. You know what I mean? Like I think initially you got to be on a closer end to a 10, but I think attraction can grow over time.
Yeah.
Like a 7 could become like a 9 with if everything is real good, But
Yeah. Are there some things that you're not like setting, what is it? Some things that you're non-negotiable, like appearance wise, or there's something that's non-negotiable for y'all in relationship. Well, yeah, when it comes to physical appearance. What? Period.
I'm not dating outside of my race.
I don't even know if I'm dating outside my culture.
I'm not dating, right?
I mean, it's cool. Like, listen, love is love. That's just a me thing. I just,
Absolutely.
I don't judge nobody who do it. Like, that's cool. Like, find where you need to find. Like, it's a lot of beautiful stories and the whole nine. It's just,
not me.
That's just my list.
Oh, somebody said God be out here making anything. Log out.
Yeah, you need to get time out for that one.
So some God be out here making anything. Well, anything's beating relationship. Y'all saw a post that was like every person on my 600-pound life was in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, man, somebody for everybody out here.
It is. Somebody said I'm judging. My sister said you will be looking at him, and then like, wait, you will be looking at him like, damn, that nigga kind of ugly. Yeah. And then like, my thing is when people settle on appearance, do y'all know how angry they be once it's over with? It's like, damn, I settled on your fat ugly ass or your skinny ugly ass, and I didn't like you to begin with. Then you have the nerve to play me in my face. That's why I'd rather be with a fine ass nigga and not regret at least his looks. That's the least I can regret. It's his looks.
And I also, and this isn't like super shallow, but also like in an argument, like say we happen to not be seeing eye to eye. And if you're not attractive and I'm mad, I'm gonna be looking at you like, ugh. I don't want to ever look at my person and be like, ugh. Even if we're arguing, like, I don't want to ever find you ugly.
I didn't say nobody was surprised, but like I'm just saying, like people have done it. I'm not saying me, but I'm just saying people have done it. Like because yes, I have. I look back like, what the fuck was I thinking? Because we fucking for him, okay. But okay, moving on to the next question. Okay, why do y'all think boys? Listen to this word, boys today make a big deal out of paying for dates. This is just social media talk, I guess you could say. But I've seen people talk about how like they're gonna date. I forgot the word they use. You know how women do the 90-day no sex thing? Men are out here saying, I'm gonna go 90 days without paying for a date.
Whether you're gonna go 90 days without seeing me. I mean, that's just what it is.
Yeah, same.
I don't know nothing about that. I can't speak on that.
It's not happening. No.
I don't know nothing about
that. I don't get it. Like, we're so hard about paying for that. And they think, okay, Do y'all think sex and dinner dates are transactional? Because that's a topic. Everybody talking about, oh, it's transactional. So our relationships are transactional. Like,
Hold on, hold on. Dinner days is alright. That shit wild.
I'm telling you, this is the streets. I'm taking stuff from the streets. I don't believe it, but I'm just saying people do believe it. That is niggas out there believe shit like that is transactional. Like, oh, I paid for your dinner, so now you owe me sex.
I can't speak on that, man. I don't know. I can't speak for other people's minds, so that shit wild to me. That's a little bit out of my sphere. I can't,
Period.
Wow.
Have you heard of those things?
Oh, I've
Smoke.
absolutely heard. I've never personally heard of those things, but I know that those type of things exist. And no, a date does not equal sex at all.
It's what you call a date, type of date. Period. Um,
But I think
or
those things would also be discussed if that's your intention, like, hey, after this date tonight, like, I do want to have sex. Don't put that type of pressure on somebody that is
right.
requiring it because it's not.
Somebody or your cousin said, I've heard of it. Right, exactly. Because your grandfather would be very disappointed. That's all I'm going to say.
That
He'd
shit
be very
wild, man.
disappointed. Papa wouldn't like that.
That shit
Mm-mm.
wild.
He found out his grandson out here complaining about spending money on women. He wouldn't like it. He wouldn't like it. I don't know. That's just me. Because I feel like men with money, they don't got no problem spending it. That's just my motto all the time.
I feel like that might be more of
But
the
my thing is like it doesn't have to take money to like go on dates. Like you can be
No?
creative and really do some stuff. Like you can have some like real like creative like day filled events without having to
Right.
spend much money.
yes.
I
So
agree.
However, I will say this: I won't even just put it on the men. I'll just say in general. I feel like often people aren't willing to put in that creative effort. Like that doesn't really happen too often. I'm not gonna say it doesn't happen at all, but on a more realistic standpoint, it doesn't happen. People are just like, oh, let's go to the movie and dinner. Like, and then that's me gonna have to come out of pocket, yes. But they're not willing to put in that creativity, like, oh, let's do that. They're not. A lot of them aren't doing that.
Yeah, no.
And those days are over.
shoot,
Yeah.
Those days are
man,
over for me. You got to
damn.
come with something creative.
Yeah.
But nah, listen,
Something.
I appreciate the dudes like that because they just make my stock rise so much more.
Uh
You know what I'm saying? It just
Period.
helps me out some.
I'm trying to tell you, it's not easy out here for us, okay?
That
Like,
shit
oh, you need
funny.
to start teaching in class.
you gonna teach a seminar
You
class?
need to teach
You.
you.
Teaching class.
Uh-huh.
I mean, I can't teach this, man. Like, you gotta really be.
It gotta be in you.
Maybe I could be on some hit shit.
Period. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to be funny, I promise. But a lot of these men don't have dads. And so maybe that's why they don't know how to treat a lady and like what to do
That,
and why spending money. I guess that's why. But I mean, I'm not trying to be funny once again, but there's TV for that type of things. Like
The
you watch
internet
TV, you watch movies, you can find some type of inspiration. Like go figure, get your ass off podcasts and stop watching NBA Young Boy videos and figure out a movie to watch. I'll give you one as a matter of fact.
and that's now you got me thinking like, damn, how did I learn how to date? Like, how
No,
did I even?
that's a great question. How
Like,
did you learn?
Yeah, I'm
Or
sitting here
was it
thinking about it, like,
for you?
cause um,
or moms who taught their sons. Like there's different
yeah, I think
ways to figure it
so.
out.
Everybody's different, and a lot of stuff is you observe.
Mhm.
Especially as you a child when you're young, a lot of your learning is just observation. So I did like I was raised by two parents, same household. So I observed a lot of the things like my dad did. So a lot of the things that I learned were just second nature. You know what I mean? It wasn't anything that was like verbally taught. I just saw. I knew about holding doors. Like I knew about walking on the outside of the street. Like where you sit. Like just proper like just
Right.
etiquette and manners and like chivalry and stuff like that. So it was always cologne like stuff, all kinds of stuff, man. Just like being thoughtful. Like you just kind of see those things, and then as you get older and you ask questions, you got somebody that you can lean on for those answers. But overall, like it's really just about chemistry. It's no different. Like I said, relationships are, people complicate them, but you've been in relationships your whole life. You've been in relationships with your parents, your siblings, your friends. Just because it gets romantic doesn't mean it has to change your approach. So you kind of change, you approach it the same way. It's like, hey, I have a group of friends. These are my best friends, my close group of friends. You know, the same thing that makes us successful. Like, let me try to move it this way. Let me try to find out about this woman. Let me find out about things that she like. Oh, you mentioned this the other day. I just picked this up for you because I saw it. It made me think of you. Like, today's world. Like, I sent you this meme because I know you would get this. Like, whatever the case may be. Like, just small stuff build up. Like, oh, this person thinks of me. Now there's a little bit more there and take it. So, um, yeah, man. I think it just comes natural and just you take each experience for who it is. Like every woman's different. Like you said, K. Rob so eloquently, like you ain't gonna treat your new dude like your last dude. You know what I mean? So you gotta really be able to change and adapt and like I said, have a good understanding of self and who you are. Like you don't want to keep changing who you are based off who you dating. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You just want to find somebody compatible with what you're doing.
But I also think that there is a level of responsibility on the parents too. Is because back to what we talked about earlier, a lot of parents are just settling in their relationship. So when you settle, you're not going that extra mile to make sure your partner is happy. So your children are in an environment where you see two people just coexisting. You know what I'm saying? They're just coexisting. So there's no romance. There's no, just walking up behind her as she's cooking and giving her a kiss on the cheek or, like they're not seeing any of that. So they're like, okay, well, I'm just doing what I would normally see. I don't see my dad come in the house to kiss my mom. I don't see my mom, just rub my dad's shoulders and things like that. Like there's a level of responsibility on parents, and that's why I advise everybody: if you're not happy, leave, because your children are going to pick up on it.
That's crazy you just said that because, yeah, man, it's easy to be like, I don't even like you anyway for real. So you don't even
Yeah.
have invested interest. Like, K Rod, did you see, for the Malcolm and Marie episode that the Culture Garden did, I posted this clip of James Baldwin and James Baldwin and Nikki Giovanni having a conversation. Do you remember seeing that, or like a little clip of it?
Was
It's a
it
really good interview. I think when she said
was it the one?
to me. Like
Yes,
treat
I've seen
me
that one
like you do
before.
everything else. Like I love you and I get the least of you.
Yep.
Like, fake it with me. Like you sit here and you treat everybody else like this, but when I come home you treat me like I ain't nothing and I'm the one that got love for you. And at the end of that clip, she said like, that way our child like could say like I saw dad kissing mom growing up. Like so it just goes perfectly with what you just said. Like that's kind of the thing. And that really matters. It really is representation and all that. But if you settle, like I said, I don't even like you for real. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody said TV is acting. I agree, like it is acting. But at the end of the day, I do believe that it is 100% okay to get some of your ideologies from social media or movies or TV shows. I do believe that that is okay because if Dwayne could go get his girl, fight for his girl, I feel like my man should be able to do the same thing. Yes, it's acting, but guess what? At the end of the day, it is somebody's reality.
Yeah. I was
And
about
people
to
say,
say.
oh, y'all girls, y'all too into social media. So what? He bought her flowers. Y'all don't know what's going behind closed doors. But I'm seeing her get flowers, and I want flowers. Why you not getting me flowers? Just because I don't care what's going on behind closed doors, but what I see, I want it. And I don't like when people say that, like, oh, y'all think, ooh, my bad, y'all, my camera. Um, I don't like when people say, "Oh, y'all think too much about TV and social media." That shit is real. At the end of the day, like, no, I don't give a flying crap of what goes on behind closed doors with them. But yeah, that's just something I just thought about whenever they said that. It's acting, but at the end of the day, like I said, it can't be my reality. That's what gives you hope. Seeing things on TV and seeing things on social media. If you're not seeing it in real life, like I don't see no problem with that.
Yeah.
And I think your cousin said just because the dad is physically present, I think she was trying to say physically present, that doesn't mean that, he's doing much. And that goes back to what Tierra was saying.
Yeah, yeah, that's real.
Mm-hmm. You seen what Duran you seen what happened with Duran when he bought Melon marching band. Exactly. I feel like stuff like that is possible. And why is it so hard? Like, granted, marching band, like, be fucking for real, but it's possible.
Yeah.
I feel like that teaches teaches people who don't see it, it teaches them things.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, that's just my take on that when it comes to social media and movies and TV shows. Because yeah, you know, the writers and the creator of these shows are pulling those ideas from somewhere.
Yeah.
It's not 100% made up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
they definitely get from real life experience. You know what I'm saying? Art imitates life.
my sister said my mama got big ass banquet of flowers multiple times a year. See stuff like that. Exactly. Art imitates life. Bingo. Okay, so pulling back a little bit. Is there such thing as having sex too soon? Or is there such thing as having it too like late? Like, you know, I guess that's the right question. Yeah, too soon or too late. Do y'all believe in that? Like, was going back to the 90-day rule thing.
Go ahead, Rich. I'll let you go.
Um, I think that's a personal, and I really do believe what I'm about to say because it's not really talked about and discussed enough. But I really think that's a personal choice as far as like
Mm-hmm.
where you are in your own life.
Yeah.
You know, I mentioned earlier about energy. You know what I mean? And if you like, I don't know, people read the Bible, like soul ties, all that stuff is
Real.
like a thing. You know what I mean? So, um, things happen. You know what I mean? Things happen, and sometimes you in the moment, and sometimes things just feel right. Like I'm somebody that kind of like acts off of intuition. But if you're really trying to build something, then maybe that's not even on your mind. Like the older I get, the more I realize like the deeper I'm trying to get to know someone, like that's not even on my mind up front. Like now if it happens and that kind of thing steer that way, then maybe it does. Um, but I don't know if there's such thing as too soon, too late. Like obviously if it's gonna affect the way you learn about this person, then yeah, that can be too soon. You gotta know yourself. So if I know that like, you know, after things get physical, I don't have any interest in learning anything else about you, then maybe I shouldn't do that. You know what I mean? But if that's the case to begin with, then maybe there's some deeper things you need to unpack
Yeah.
to see why that's the
Mm-hmm.
case to start. So, you know, I definitely would recommend don't be having like sex with strangers, man. I really do believe, you know, STDs are a real thing. Like it's scary out here, man. Like for real, like it really is. So just make sure you know what you're doing. Like there's nothing wrong with like being responsible and all that. Like, you know what I mean? People have sex. It's a great thing. We all adults. Um, but I don't know if there's a timetable. That's something for somebody to really put on. But you better be understanding. Like if I'm having sex with a woman and I don't really know her, like and we don't have no conversation about it, I better not have any expectations about what's about to happen from there. Like you know what I mean? That's something you should be having going into things. And sex is awkward to talk about, you know, sometimes, you know, because you don't really want to bring it up too early because you don't want a woman to think like that's all you thinking
Yeah.
about. Um, but at the same time, you kind of want to know where things stand. You know, it's got to be something that's said. I don't know. It could be you got to navigate it a certain way.
Yeah. And I agree with what Rich said. But I feel like also like there's not if it's the right person, there's really no such thing as too soon or too late. You know what I'm saying? If you're with
Yeah.
the right person, none of that really matters. You can have sex the second day you meet someone, and that could turn out to be your soulmate and the love of your life. Or y'all could have waited the 90 days or 100, how many days y'all want to wait, and that's still your soulmate. So I don't, with the right person, no, I don't think there's a such thing as too soon.
I do. I will say this. This is something I thought of. I, I would hate to like get to know someone and really, really, really like them,
And love them.
and the
And then
sex is
it's
not
terrible.
compatible.
I agree.
Like
That
that
was
would,
my next question.
I
yeah, like that would be the biggest thing. Like so, I mean, I don't know.
I think it's all situational.
It's all situational, but you like what you like, and I
Yeah,
think ain't nothing wrong with people doing going after what they want and
right.
what they like. I don't know. It's a tricky, funny little
There,
thing.
there's
It
a lot of
is.
things that play into a role of like yes, I might like you, but we might not even connect sexually, and that's something that's important in a relationship. So if we don't connect sexually, then it's not gonna work. But I don't want to wait 6-7 months before I'm like, yeah, let's have sex, and I'm head over heels for you, and I'm like, this is not gonna work. You're not willing to learn. It's just not there. Yeah. So it's. Mm-mm.
Do you believe that like some people are teachable, or do y'all think everybody is teachable when it comes to sex?
I don't think everybody's
No.
teachable. I don't.
Okay.
I firmly believe that. I think people can be taught. Some people, but some people just don't have it. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I mean? It's just like if you weren't, if you don't have it, you don't have it. No matter how many times I tell you a certain way or I like this, and you try to do it the way I told you to do it, and it still is not there. It's just you ain't got that. It's okay. You just
Mm-hmm.
need to go ahead and separate and part ways. Because
What you gotta say?
I've taught some things. That's all.
You what?
I've taught some things.
you have been the teacher.
Yeah, I've taught some things.
Oh,
I think everybody can be taught. The right teacher. I'm
Mm.
and the
gonna leave
right
it at that.
student.
I'm
The
gonna leave it
right
at
teacher, the
that.
right student.
I'm gonna leave it at that.
The right teacher and the right student. Wow.
And the right student. Y'all
Nah.
funny.
Yeah, I mean, listen, man. You gotta learn how to. You gotta know how to teach your student. Not every student responds the same. It's the same
I
method.
agree, but some people just,
You gotta coach them up.
yeah, some people are uncoachable though. You know what I mean?
Some some students need to go to a different classroom.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I mean,
you don't belong in this classroom. You got tested out
yeah, you kicked
for
out the school.
this.
It is. Hey, listen, it be like that
It
sometimes.
definitely is like that. But
My ears. Y'all, this not even explicit. LOL. I'm off the tequila, y'all. Y'all funny. But I mean, hey, these are real conversations when it comes to relationships, okay? Like physical things, like I said, they matter. They matter. People could, they could fool themselves, but I'm not fooling myself. I'm gonna look in the mirror and be like, yeah, a lot of people fool me, but I ain't gonna fool myself. So, you know, it is what it is. Okay, so it's not the same exact question as the one I asked before, but where do y'all feel like, okay, yeah, where do y'all feel like men, Tiara, this is for you. Where do you feel like men go wrong at in relationships? And then Rich, this is a vice versa question. What do you feel like women go wrong at in relationships?
um, I feel like men often go wrong with being vulnerable, and understanding what it means to be vulnerable. Because vulnerability is important. You know, vulnerability actually takes your relationship to the next level. It shows a level of trust, and some guys just have a hard time getting to that point. You know, society also plays a role in that, and I think what else? I'll say vulnerability and emotional maturity from my personal experiences. I would say vulnerability and emotional maturity is where a lot of times it goes south
When dating.
when dating.
Okay. Well, hold on, wait. Okay. Y'all don't fight me on this, but am I assuming anybody's sexuality in here? Like, have anybody dated the same sex before?
Mm-mm.
Nah, I never. Nah.
Okay. I'm just asking because, we're going to be inclusive. Somebody may have dated, a man or a woman. I'm just
Yeah.
asking because, but for this episode, I'll do another episode with, homosexual people. But, um, somebody said me.
Yeah,
Okay. So, like,
cause
well, maybe I'll get her on the episode, when it comes to dating in the LGBT community, because, that's a different realm than what we're talking about.
Yeah. I've
yeah, man.
never, yeah, my answer is no. That's all.
Okay. But, Rich, what's your answer to that question? What do you feel like women go wrong at?
See, all right.
Now.
I don't.
I'm
No,
just
no,
saying.
no. Listen. So my honest answer, I mean this. Like, I don't look at it like that. I've never looked at um anything like where did a woman go wrong because I'm very accountable. Like, so I'm very reflective, and I always try to think about things I could have done better. And I
Mm-hmm.
know myself a little bit more, especially the older I get, man. I've been through some therapy sessions, like all types of shit. So I know I've never really like I won't say never, but I don't always make myself the easiest to love. Like you know what I mean? And I like have put walls up and things like that. So any action or anything that was like a hamper or damper to the relationship, it kind of stemmed from maybe that.
Mm.
So it's kind of a cause and effect thing where I can't say like, you doing this because I'm doing this.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I don't really look at it in that view. Like I try to really be accountable for everything that I'm doing, and um, you know, once those things are repaired, like I'm, there's really no issues because, like I said, everything. I'm big about communication. I'm really anything can be on the table, anything can be discussed. Like I'm real laid back too. So I'm not like a rah rah guy. Like I don't get like amped up and yell and scream.
Mhm.
Like it's really just a combo. Like and we gonna lead a combo and do whatever. Like I don't take nothing really too personally. Like yeah, there might be some heated ones and you need a little bit of time to decompress. But I don't see any kind of awkwardness as far as approaching any conversation. You know what I mean? Like every now and then you will have that. You know, like I said, certain ways you approach certain things. But if you love somebody and that's your person, like or your people's, whatever the case may be, you should be able to. Them the people you should be most comfortable with bringing whatever to.
Mhm.
So yeah, I don't mean to dodge the question, but I don't really look at things like that. I don't look at it from like, oh,
What she
she
did
should have,
wrong.
yeah, you did this wrong. Because I've never been perfect, man. I've done some bullshit, like, and I can admit that.
Rich, you're no fun. I'm ready to argue. Like we need a little boy on here. We need a
Yeah,
little
man.
boy.
Yeah, man. I done
We
been
need a
through some
little
things.
boy.
I done lived life, man. I done been through some things.
No,
You
they
get a
need
little
to
bit
hear this.
reflective. You had me on here 10 years ago, man. This would have been some fireworks.
I am screaming.
They need
Like
to hear
literally.
this. I hope everybody is taking notes and listening to what Rich has to say.
Absolutely. Cause y'all are gonna take a seminar class starting in May 1st of this year.
2023.
I got
March.
2020.
y'all.
No, why May 1st? We're gonna do it next week Monday.
Oh,
I got y'all. Nah, for real, I do that like, and I'm not even being funny, man. I got like little homies that be hitting me up like for advice and shit. Like, yo, I
that
know how
you
you,
really need to consider
I know
like
how you maneuver and stuff like that, and I just, give them my 2 cents. What you do with it is what you do with it. How you
yeah.
spend it is how you spend it.
That's true. Cause a lot of I don't know who these niggas be taking advice from. I know what I was gonna speak on. I saw recently on TikTok, it was like a couple weeks ago, there was like men don't know how to be emotional available with women because they're not emotional available with their friends. And I feel like guys in their friendship, it is very shallow for the most
Yeah.
part. And I feel like that's why they are shallow with us. Like, if your homeboy is crying, like they may laugh and make jokes and they think everything is funny. Everything is not for the barbershop. Everything's not barbershop conversation. Learn how to get serious with your friend, and y'all wonder why I guess some women, they treat you, I don't know how to say it. I don't want to say treat you how they do, but it gotta be reciprocated. You can't just be out here, what's the word I'm looking for? You can't be out here, what, y'all, you get what I'm trying to say?
Completely
I'm trying to figure out how to finish this. Huh?
completely unserious.
Yeah, like unserious. Like you can't just expect for your first emotional available relationship to be with somebody you like, a woman. Like you got to get these things from, like we were saying earlier, from your parents, from your peers. Get serious and have real guy talk, and not just, bruh, when these shoes coming out? Did y'all get Call of Duty? Did y'all get 2K? Like have real conversations about your emotions, your mental health, like real deal conversations.
Yeah.
Whenever I feel like guys, when y'all can start doing that, maybe you're gonna get a different outcome when it comes to women. Have real guy friends that actually got your back, and not just your homeboy who trying to put you on to the next bitch. Like, no, get a real friend that's gonna tell you, like, bro, you shouldn't be doing that.
Yeah,
That's what I got on that.
I think that's definitely something that you get with age. You know what I mean? Because your visions and your goals change. For a lot. Like I'm somebody I have multiple friend groups,
Mm-hmm.
including the friends I've been with since elementary school. You know what I mean? So you kind of grow up literally from boys to men together, and 10 years ago, like I said, we all still on the same thing. We still like going out every weekend, doing this, that, and the third. But like once you really start going through life shit, I always tell people, man, the biggest thing about being an adult is like there's no rule book for you kind of out there by yourself. Like I'm a whole ass adult. Like I'm the person that I'm supposed to call when things go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So you go through those experiences, especially when you do them together, and then that's when you start having those more open conversations. I've had more real and honest conversations with some of my friends within the past 5 years than like maybe those 15, 20 before, just because like we've all experienced that and we know there's a space of trust. And I think you really got to establish who your friend is. Like a lot of people have associates,
Right.
you know what I mean, which is perfectly fine. Like I'm talking about like the like real friends, like the people you talk to often, or you know, like this is who is gonna be down like 20 years from now, 30 years from now, it's still gonna be in my person, like in my clique or whatever. So um, it is something I will just from experience. Like I don't know how often we had those conversations in our 20s versus like when you get
Yeah.
older, you start going through a few things. Like even you just try to figure it out. Like it's hard to be openly vulnerable. But to your point, yeah, if you can't do that with your peoples, then it's gonna be hard to do that with your girl and vice versa. So everybody needs different space, man. Like you can't. Sometimes you need to. I think every relationship should be very exclusive. You know what I mean? Like so, there should be things that like if I had a girl like me and my girl like should only be locked in on. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's part of what makes our thing like that special. You know what I'm saying? Because that being exclusive about it and having something we both share that's only for us too.
Mm-hmm.
Then you need another space where you can maybe talk about some other things and so on and so forth. So it's
Right.
just about building that little community within yourself.
Yeah, I do agree with that, but I do be seeing guys like on social media saying, "Oh, y'all girlfriendships, they don't last, they don't last." But I'm like, not trying to be funny again, but you will be friends with your guy friend for 20 plus years, knowing he had sex with your girlfriend freshman year in college, and that was your girlfriend, and you okay with that, and you still friends with him, but now all of a sudden she's the bad person, but y'all still friends though because that's guy code. Come on.
Right.
They don't want to get real with that one, and I just don't understand it because it's like hold your guy friends to a standard too, and I feel like they don't hold their guy friends to a standard, which is why they relationship. Well, I'm not gonna say their relationships fail, but that's why they have guy friends for so long because they don't hold them to a standard. Of course, there's no standard to meet. Like,
Yeah.
of course you're gonna keep somebody you're not holding to a standard.
Yeah. Because there's no limits. And I will also say this. I feel like the way you learn how to handle conflict, it shows up a lot in your friendships. And a lot of guys, often guys, would get into it with their friends, not talk about it, see each other 2 weeks from now, dap them up, and everybody's cool. But it's like nobody ever really talked about the real problem. Nobody talked about, this, hey, that actually hurt my feelings. Like, let's talk about this.
Right.
No, guys, some guys don't do that. They just like, hey, yo, it's cool. It's good.
Right.
And there was no conversation ever to be had. And so, like,
exactly.
I think when it comes to that side of communicating, you learn a lot of that with your friendships. And if you don't do that in your friendships, of course, you're not going to do it in your relationship. Having to show up in that way in your relationship is going to be a hassle. It's going to be a burden for you. Because your whole life, you just brushed everything off. You put everything under the rug. So.
Like, your homeboy didn't even tell you happy birthday, and y'all still cool. And he knows it's your birthday. He just didn't do it.
And watched your story and everything. And never just reached out and like, hey, bro, happy birthday. Like, that's weird. That's weird to me. I think that's weirard.
It is. Rich, what you got to say about that?
Nah, I'm just laughing, man, because it sounds like I'm like the generation gap is just funny to me. Because when I say that because a lot of that stuff, like when I was in college, you know what I mean? Like social media was around, but it wasn't around like
right.
Like my freshman year of college, Facebook you still had to have like a college, like you had to have a .edu to even join Facebook. It wasn't even public. Like it wasn't like you couldn't have no Gmail. Like wasn't no grandmamas, wasn't no aunties on Facebook yet. It was really just for college students. So like a lot of stuff that I see now, I'll be thinking like, damn, like if we had like Instagram and Twitter and stuff, if I had that at 18 versus 25, like I wonder how much differently like things would be. Like, because we don't have, I had never had to deal with none of that. So, and now like it's like that's not real life to me. So it wasn't real life to me then. Like I never grew up with it. Like now you have a whole generation that's, these kids now have iPhones and tablets. They know how to work them at 2, 3 years old. Yeah. Like that's what they know. Like, damn, can y'all survive without Wi-Fi? Like, would you know what to do?
Yeah.
Like, not y'all, but I'm talking about like those type of kids. So
Hmm.
going through relationships and going through everything so publicly, like, and just people posting subliminals online and
Yeah,
just people in your business. And I'm just like, man, that's just a lot.
it is.
It is. I agree. But I feel like, that's something that guys, I feel like that's one thing they need to work on is their relationship with their friends. And they don't need to be in women business about why we cut somebody off after 2 days because the girl was paid. Like, what do you mean?
She was weird.
She was weird. What do you mean? Why I cut her off? What do you mean? Why? What do you mean? Um, okay. So do y'all think dating is hard today? I mean, I guess we kind of already answered this question, but a little more detail. Do y'all think dating is hard today? Why or why not?
I say yes and no. Like, of course, you have the privilege to meet, people that you probably would have never met before if social media wasn't a thing. Um, and you have, like, a little more access to different people. But as far as like, and then on the other side, it's like some of that's not reality. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, you have access to all these things, but it's a lot deeper than we make it. Uh, so yes and no. I would say yes and no. Yeah, yes and no.
I don't know if it's um I don't know if it's harder. I just think that it's you have more things that show you about a person. There's more things to like discuss now. Like I mentioned earlier, like um I know one thing that people I don't know how serious this is, y'all can have probably give me a better answer, but like people not posting their significant other, right? Like
Okay.
you know
I
what I
can
mean?
talk on
Like
that.
posting a picture. But my whole point is like that's something that like 20 years ago wasn't a thing, 10 years ago wasn't a thing, like it wasn't a big deal. So like
Right.
that type of conversation that could happen today, like why don't you post me? Like it's something that you didn't have to deal with years ago. So that's what I mean. Like that's all there's new conversations and new things that can be discussed that makes it a little bit more difficult. Um Outside of that, man, find somebody you rock with, lock in with them, and keep it pushing. Like it don't have to be difficult. We overcomplicate it, and we overcomplicate it. Like I said, it's all facade, man. You have this access to this world on your phone. You know what I mean? That makes everything so much bigger than what it is. And it's like stick with what you know, man. Be with the people who's gonna be for you. None of this shit is real for real.
Yeah.
My friend said yes because people base their standards off of others on social media.
That
Yeah, very
too,
much
yeah,
so.
the pressure of like trying to live up to other people or even just stunt. Like people, man, people, social media is like really like they got class action lawsuits the same way they do for like these like prescription companies. Like they got people like, is your child addicted to social media? Like people live
Mm,
their life like that. Like people go crazy over social. They stunt. Like they do everything they can just to show people how they live in, and it's not even like real.
Yeah.
It's wild, man.
I had a guy, he based his, I guess, perception on whether if he should ask me something based off my social media. I'm like, be fucking for real. I lie on social media all the time, and I tell the truth on social media all the time. You got my number. Ask me. Ask
Yeah.
me. If it's a lie or if it's the truth. I don't know. I'm just posting the shit. It's fun to me. Everybody don't see social media like that. Like the other day, Tia Rich asked me if I was engaged. He texted me congratulations because I said, let's, I forgot
Right.
what
I'm
I
like, you got
said.
engaged? Like, what's up?
I forgot what I said. He asked if I was engaged. I think I was
You
some
said
song lyrics or a
you
movie.
put some song lyrics up, but
Oh
you
yeah,
said he
he
proposed,
proposed to
y'all,
me.
and I'm like, oh snap, like congrats, like
Like y'all, it's fake. It's totally fake, and that's why you reach out and ask questions. And sometimes though, social media can be very real because I post a lot of my real thoughts on social media. If you don't know me, then you don't know what's real and what's fake.
oh,
So
yeah, it's a mystery. It's a mystery, man. It's, people take it too seriously.
Yeah.
too seriously, too far. Like it's fun to me. It's fun being a mystery sometimes.
It's my mo, man. That's
It
how I live
is.
my
And
life.
sometimes it's like,
So
huh?
that's how I live my life. You know what I mean? Got to keep
Uh,
people keep a little mystique about you.
exactly. I can't imagine when I get famous. Like, a lot of people gonna be like, "Oh my God, what's she talking about? She weird. She's so weird." And I'm just like, "What the fuck are y'all talking about? Y'all literally a joke. I'm sarcastic as fuck. It was satire, but y'all took it all serious. Why? I don't understand. Because y'all don't know me. People don't know these celebrities, and y'all take what they say very serious. Like Lil Nas X, that's one thing I like about him. He's very sarcastic, and people don't understand his sarcasm. Like, it's funny to me.
Nah, that nigga
And you're
funny,
not,
man. He
you
hilarious.
can't read a tone through social media, huh?
That nigga hilarious. That nigga got me weak,
Really
man.
funny.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's my type of
Okay,
sense of that's my type of sense of humor though. But I'm like, oh, he's silly, man.
exactly. Exactly. And there are people out there who take what he says so serious. I'm like, what? What are y'all talking about? He was definitely joking.
I think
But
it's a very
huh?
sensitive world that we live in now too.
You said
So I
what?
think it's a very sensitive world that we're living in, or time that we're living in now. Also, everyone's
Yeah, I agree.
overly sensitive.
Very. It was something that happened the other day, and it was just like, oh, we for real.
Yeah.
Like, I just can't keep up no more sometimes. Even at my young age, it's like, damn, there's something else I can't say or do, you know. But I mean, I'm all for learning. You know, I never want to hurt anybody's feelings for real. But
Right.
you know, I guess it's just a learning experience, like you said. Let's see. Something I said it's ghetto. Anybody has any more questions? Okay, that was really it. Do y'all think flirting is cheating? These questions could be important. I meant put in different
Yeah.
order. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I asked that question because I had a conversation with my cousin today. Go ahead.
Me?
No, Rich, what you
Oh,
say?
Nah, yeah, it is. I mean, just anything dishonest, like just cheating. Like it doesn't have to be physical.
yeah.
You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be. It's just emotional cheating.
Like anything you don't
You
want
know
your
what I
partner to
mean?
see, or if they were next to you, you wouldn't do. It's deemed cheating in some fashion.
Yeah,
Like,
there's levels to cheating. Don't get me wrong, but it's like, what's the root of all this? Like, where's it coming from? You
yeah.
know, where's it coming from? But yeah, I
But
would
then
say
I
so.
also take into consideration that like some people just have a naturally like flirty personality, and they don't think that they're being flirty, but they're just or harmfully flirty, but like they're just a very caring, bubbly person. So I think you gotta kind of understand who you're dealing with.
Right. Yeah.
Because a lot of people sometimes just have that type of personality where they can not meet a stranger or like just be able to carry on a conversation. It's not necessarily flirting to them.
Friendly.
Yeah,
Right.
but
Yeah, that's a
it's
good
really
point
like
too. Yeah, there's a difference between being friendly and being flirty too. Flirty
yeah,
too. Like, you
Absolutely.
know what I mean? Like, I
People,
as a man, I can even say that. Like, just because you'll be just literally friendly or trying to do something nice, and someone might take it as more than what it is. I'm like, yo, like it's just just trying to look out. That's all. Nothing more,
yeah.
nothing less. So yeah.
You just
I
gotta
agree.
know who.
And I tell people that all the time, like, I don't want my man or my woman to be flirty, like, or friendly. I'm like, personally, I would not mind if my man is friendly because I know the difference between friendly and flirty. And I don't want no mean ass nigga. So, yeah, be friendly to people because I don't like being rude. Like, that's not cute to me. That's not cute at all. But you're not going to sit up here and flirt. If you're not trying to get us dinner and some drinks, you're not flirting my face for free because there's going to be a consequence. If it ain't for, it's a no for me. And, I was having a conversation with my cousin earlier. She's gay. She was, she's dating a girl or she's engaged to a girl. And she was saying how, like, they're both okay with each other flirting. And I was just like, like I just told y'all, if it's not for a drink or for food or for whatever reason I'm not okay with, then it's cheated. And she was like, I guess you'll see when you get older. I'm like, I don't think it's nothing to do with being older. I think is to each his
Yeah.
own. And
Yeah.
I'm going to leave it at that.
Whatever
To each his
you
own.
whatever you open to, man. It's
Yeah,
people have open marriages, open relationships. Like if that works for them. I've been saying it all episode. Like if it works for the two people involved, then that's really all
Yep.
that matters. Like nobody else's opinion. Like that's
Yep.
one thing I really do respect about Carisha. Like I know people like
Hey.
make fun of her about the whole Diddy thing and shit like that, but like she doesn't care because whatever they got, they got. Like they got their own thing established, and it's not for everybody else. They can speculate all day, and she don't let that deter her. So I think that's pretty like that's how all relationships should work. Like we have no idea, and people really should mind their business and stay out of other people's shit. That's what it comes
Right.
down to if we really being for real.
I agree, but with Krisha, I'm like, I just don't see. She be arguing with women though about him, or she has.
I don't
I
be
don't know
on.
if
I
it was
don't
for.
follow her on social media now, so I can't. I don't know the full scope. But
Well, she has. I don't know if it was for publicity or like she was for real, but she's definitely arguing with girls over Diddy or whatever the case may be. But I agree. Let Carisha do what Carisha is doing and
yeah,
do it in
Because it's
peace.
working for her. She's
It's working for her. And I tell people that all the time with like with a lot of social media topics, this is made up. Y'all are really pulling this shit out y'all ass. It's literally made up conversation. Y'all just want people to you just want a lot of retweets and likes just to get, the people going on another stupid ass conversation. And that shit aggravates me. It's like, be fucking for real. It's like a lot of questions and a lot of topics like be for real. But like you said, a lot of things, it's like, if it worked for them, like 50-50 on bills, that's a stupid conversation. Let that work for them people.
Yeah.
Let that work for them. And that's how I feel about a lot of things too, to be honest. Like,
It's not
if it works for
not
you,
for me. If it's for you, live your best life and
live
enjoy
your
what's for
best
you.
life.
It's not for me.
Live your
straight
best
up.
life. Okay, I got like 2 or 3 more questions. And I mean, I don't know if this is a repeated question or not, and if it is, we can just skip past it. What are some advantages and disadvantages of dating now versus back in the day? Do y'all feel like we already answered that
I think
question?
Anyway,
with like the social media is probably the biggest thing.
yeah.
Like it just brings a whole nother like bag of arguments and potential arguments to the table that you just probably didn't have to deal with. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what I was going to say. Back to your point on whether posting is important or not. To me, and for my relationship that I'm not in, the one that I will be in someday, it is very. Don't post me every day. Don't post me every. There's no time, slot on when to post me. But I want your followers to know that I'm your girl. I'm your world. That's what they need to know.
Do you
That's
know? Do you know your love language?
um. I say somebody say all of them. Period. But
I am a
I would
healthy
say
blend of all of them, and I can't
yeah.
even deny
Or
that.
do you know like what your top one would be? Like, cause that's like that to me. That's like more like words of affirmation. Just that affirmation, like that security and knowing, like, yo, I just like
Mm.
affirm that I'm the person in your life. I think that's like a lot of people who probably had that is probably that focus on that. And I understood it. Like, you ain't gotta hide shit. Like I said, it goes for each couple, but
Yeah.
that's a funny conversation. Go ahead, my bad.
No, you're fine. That's a good point. I guess it can go to love language, but I feel like my top love language would be physical touch. And what is it? Physical touch, words of affirmation. What's the month? Gift giving, huh?
Acts of service.
Acts of service. Missing one.
You're missing one.
What's that? Quality time?
Oh, quality
No,
time. That's what.
quality time. Okay, so I feel like physical touch is definitely my top, and then maybe affirmation. Words of affirmation is maybe a second. Maybe a second. But yeah, I say it's big for me just because why not? You post everything else, so why not post somebody who you like, somebody who you love? Like, why
I
not?
think
I'll post
that's
you.
weird. I think that is when it becomes like really weird. Because if you are dating somebody who's honestly not an avid social media user, they don't even post regular things. I'm not saying they can never post you, but like if they really just don't be on social media, they don't ever post a story. Okay, like that's fine. Eventually they're gonna know. But if you're posting every single thing about your life, everything, but you're not posting your significant other, that's really weird to me. That's when it becomes like a why not type of thing. Because it's weird.
I even say, even if you're not an average, if you have social media, post me. I don't care how often you post. I still want your 2 followers to know that I'm your girl, I'm your word. Like, I still want them to know that. I don't care. I
Yeah.
don't care. That's just me. That's just me personally. Because I have got my feelings hurt before by a guy not posting me. I was like, why you not posting me? Even though we weren't together, back in the day. But it was just like, damn, like why you not posting me? You on social media, like, okay. But so yeah, for me, yes, the answer is yes. But
What did they what did
I'm
they
not
post? What did they post as you with the little emoji over your face? How did you feel?
No, you run to me.
you,
No, because
you
what
be
you're
for real.
not going to do is play in my face. No.
Be for real.
No.
Exactly. You played in my
Shit.
face.
Y'all
You
funny.
played in my face. But I will say I do feel like men who post their girl once a week or more, they are the worst cheaters. Or the ones who don't post them at all are also cheaters. But just because he posts you all the time don't mean he's not cheating. Okay, that's what I'm just trying to say. Don't be fooled by how many times he posts you and think you're not cheating. Okay,
Sheesh.
that's it.
No, that's real. That is real. Because I've known some individuals who would post their significant other
That's
just
why,
about a
but they
day.
don't be liking them for real, man. Like they can't like them for real
They
because,
can't stand a
like, that's why,
person.
like that foundation of friendship. Like, I always look at it like I'm not. If that's really your friend, that's your person. Like, that's my dog. Like, I'm not gonna do my dog like that. Like, I'm not gonna have her out here looking stupid or crazy. Like, so that's just like, I don't know. Like that. But that, so I mean, I don't know, man. I think a lot of people just have to get in tune with themselves and what they really want.
Yeah.
Because if I guarantee you, like, let's say a celebrity crush, right? Everybody always looks at celebrity crushes like, oh, it wouldn't even like if I had that person. Like, so if you look at somebody in that manner, like, I wouldn't play. You know, if I had Rihanna, I wouldn't be cheating on Rihanna. Like, da 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 da. People would say that and stuff like that. So that's how you should feel with whoever you with.
Mm-hmm.
Like, take the
Because
time
I'm
to get who it
Leslie
is.
James. To you, I need to be.
Yeah, yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah, man.
They
So it's
walk.
like I just because I always look at it the same way too, man. I wouldn't want that to happen. Like that's my like I would feel like I don't like letting people down, especially people like I really care about and I love. So like if that's my dog, like we locked in for real, and I'm out here
Yeah.
playing in your face, like and dogging you, and people taking a joke of you, like people are thinking less of you because of shit that I'm doing. Like I'm not gonna do that to my dog. Like so that's why like that friendship is really, really, really important. You gotta be locked in because you wouldn't have no interest in that. Like I'm not gonna do my shorty like that. Like you crazy.
Yeah.
Period.
Oh,
Period. Like,
lyrics. You really gonna have
huh?
to class. Talking to Rick. You really got class. What you
Yeah.
think,
Yeah,
May 1st,
man.
2023?
I got you, man. Send them, man. Send them. I'll get a
Oh,
sign. I'll get a sign up sheet
Okay.
coming or
Okay,
something like that.
look, and I'm gonna sign them up unknowingly. Some people are
yes,
not even gonna know they
yes.
signed up for it.
And
There
I'm
you
gonna
go.
and I'm gonna give you their email too.
Yeah,
Yep.
they had
They
Q
only
and
gonna
A's.
get
I
the
got.
Zoom link.
We'll put them in.
They didn't be able
We'll,
to
yeah, we'll put them through scenarios, all that, man. I got
do.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But listen, when I give it to you, tell them don't come back to me. I don't care what you told them.
Then
Ain't
you're
no
gonna be
coming
salty.
back.
Then you're gonna be salty because you're gonna be like, man, that's the version that I like prepped. I prepped that person. Like, I want to get to experience the benefits now.
Sometimes I don't even be caring. Like
It's
I don't
a,
even
No,
want I don't even want those experiences from you anymore.
nah, I feel you
no,
though.
no.
That happens
I
often than not.
no. I don't care if God didn't directly put him in my face. I'm not trusting it because I don't know. All old dogs can't learn new tricks. I don't know.
Hey man.
Speaking of, okay, so what is y'all view on marriage? Because there's this crowd of people who say marriage is a piece of paper. Yeah.
I think marriage goes beyond just a piece of paper. I think marriage is a commitment. And I think it takes your relationship to a different level because you don't really I've not never been married, so this is just me talking. But like I don't think you give up as easy as you would. And I think you're willing to stick it out and, try all possible things to make it work with your significant or your spouse. So I don't think marriage is just a piece of paper.
Me neither.
I think,
Cause
well, if it is a piece of paper, I think it's a very important piece of paper.
there you go. It's important for me for
We're not doing
in
comments.
yeah, reassurance, insurance, all type of insurance. I sign your name.
Mm-hmm.
Sign your name. Because we not gonna no. It's important. That's it. That's all I gotta say. What you gotta say?
Hmm.
Um, there is the all right. So everything y'all said, like, of course, like that's what marriage is found. That's what you're taught, like, and the reason why you get married, right? That's like the symbolism of it. If you look at it from the legal point, like literally just from a legal view, like it is a contract. Like it is a
Mm-hmm.
it's not a good contract either. Just like I mean, just that's why going through divorce is like so hard for a lot of people. Like it's just a process. Like pretty much marriage is like I love you so much, let's get the government involved, right?
Right.
Um, so I know people who have been married and been divorced and have said like I'm glad that I got married, I'm glad that I experienced that, but I'll never do it again. just because of how hard it is to get out of it if you need to get out of it, because not everybody should be married. So from that aspect of it, it's a little bit funny, and that's hearing it from married people. And they always say like, I want a partner, I want a long-term relationship, I want something like that. But like once you, I guess it's one of those things people say like once you actually are in it legally and you've been through that before, you kind of look at it a little bit differently. Now, obviously, if you go in there with the intent like this is going to work, nobody, I don't know any of those people that went into it like I expect to get divorced, right?
Yeah.
So that's the mindset of it too. Like, so everything y'all said is tied into what they went into it with. But after going through it, it's just like, damn, like if you do got to get out, like it sucks, and I would never just want to do that again. Um, so I personally want to get married, like I want to get married and things like that. But if my girl said like I'd rather just have like a long term like partnership or whatever the case is, or cool, man, I ain't gonna fight it. Like I'm not going to bat for like an actual legal piece of paper. But it is beneficial, especially like from insurance, like you said, a whole type of protection if something unexpectedly happens to one of the first people, what you're entitled to, all that kind of stuff. Like I think that's very important to have squared away. So
Yeah.
catch 22.
Yeah, I feel like that will be my biggest thing. And especially if you got kids too, like the whole custody thing, that's a lot. But like, can you just like write up your own contract and make it a legal document and still abide by that?
I mean, I'm sure you can. Well, you talking about like instead of getting married, you talking about like as far as divorce.
I'm talking about like, so let's just say you don't want to get married, but you and your partner came up with your own legal contract. Does like the divorce court still have to like handle that?
That I
Or
don't
like,
know.
how do they go about that?
I don't know
Because
how
I heard you could.
it works, but I feel like any notarized document is legally bound. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know the judicial system and how they handle it when it comes to separating, but I'm sure you'd have to go to court. You wouldn't necessarily go to divorce because you're not married, but you would have to go to court to kind of figure out who gets what and what it is. But any notarized document is
The court gotta
yeah.
What's the word? I guess abide by it. But yeah, I could definitely see like, getting out of it, especially when people are abusive and they abuse their powers. I'm like, not signing it. I can see it being a lot. I really can see divorce being a lot. I get it. I get it. And my heart and hands and prayers go out there to people who have done it more than once, because I could only imagine. But like I said, for me, I feel like it's important.
Yeah, it's no questions. I'm getting married.
And Rich, would you have a wedding without a marriage?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can see that. I can see
You
that
would do that?
if it was something that was without a marriage. I mean, yeah, but that's something that like I'm, I always looked at it. If I'm having a wedding, I'm probably gonna have a marriage. You know what I'm saying? Actually, I probably flip it. Like I probably go to the courthouse and get married before I like, spend money on a wedding. Like for real, for real.
Mm. I want a wedding. Okay. So we are on the last question of the night, unless anybody else has any more questions for the people. We got 6 people on here, y'all. We're being consistent with the little views or the big views, period. Okay, love it. And I would put these questions in some type of order, but I feel like tonight I didn't rearrange the order. But have y'all ever tried dating apps? And if so, what was y'all experience on dating apps?
I've tried dating apps, and I can now say, as of what's today's date? Is it the 16th?
It is. Yeah, I think so.
Whatever date it is, it's February 16th, 2023. I'll never do it again. I would never get on another dating app ever again. Mark my words, because if y'all see me on there, cuss me out, because I'm not getting back on there. Okay. Not happening.
Okay. I have done a dating apps. I don't know if I did it before the pandemic or like during the pandemic. I don't know whenever I had first tried it. But I remember the first one I tried was Bumble. I don't remember my experience on there, to be honest. It was cool, I guess, but no. The most recent one, well, it wasn't really recent, but the one I've been on recently was Hinge. And I like Hinge because I could weed out the non-black people. That's the option the other ones don't give you. That right there eliminates a lot of, my God, okay, I gotta do a lot of swiping. But at the end of the day, I still did a lot of swiping. And it's giving no, because it's a lot of weirdos on there. A lot of weirdos. A lot of weirdos. And then also I feel like I flipped through every nigga in Atlanta. Like, no. Like literally every nigga no. I feel like I have. And I done random I'm done. And I was the type, you can ask Tierra. I was like, I'm done with this. I'm done with it. I'm done. Couple of months went by. I got back on. But like she said, as today, I'm not doing it. I know my man is not on no dating app. I know that for a fact because I need to feel his vibe, his aura. Like I just know God is gonna let us meet organically. It's just an absolute no for me once again because zero success. I mean, a lot of people have found their partner on there. Salute to them. But Michaela, Carol, no.
Interesting.
Have you tried a dating app, Rich?
Yeah, absolutely. I've tried different phases, throughout my life of dating apps. So what I mean by that is there was a point in my life when I was on dating apps. I wasn't trying to date. I was trying, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
See what was up. And I think that's probably something that I know it's a completely different experience between men and women, I'm sure. Like there's a lot more. I think that's probably why like apps like Bumble exist, so women can have a little bit more control of the situation and weed out. I'm sure a lot of us were probably on the time that I was on, just trying to get to a certain point. But I've also been on one where I'm actually trying to meet someone and like get to know them and stuff like that. So it's hard, man. It's hard to have like get a feel for someone directly over an app. You know what I mean? Like just have a good conversation and just try to like stare. Hey, how are you? Like, what do you like? You know what I mean? That's kind of awkward. Like it's hard to like be pen pals, and it's also weird to just kind of like, here's my number, hit me up or whatever the case may be. Like you just kind of gotta navigate through it. Sometimes it's definitely more of it's like baseball. I always say, baseball. If you hit 300, you're successful. That's 3 out of 10. That's 30%. Anything else, that's really failing. So like if you get 2 or 3 out of 10, and you can kind of have a conversation and possibly meet up. I done met with some people that like some women I'm still cool with, like to this day. You know what I mean? From dating apps, and there's some other ones. It's just like it never even gets somewhere. You can match and never even exchange a message. So
yeah,
this kind of is what it is, man. It's weird, but it's for the people that don't get out. It gets more, like I said earlier about social media, like it gives you more of a space to meet people that you might not normally meet. You know what I mean? And plus, it kind of takes away the awkwardness. When you match with somebody, you at least know, like, all right, at least I know this person like feeling me. Yeah. So the intentions are pretty clear. Like something you like here, let's see what that is, and if we can link up, or it might not happen.
I don't know, Rich, because I've matched with somebody before or people before, and then I went back and I'm like,
oh yeah.
I'm like, I did like a double take. It's like you're not what I thought you was. I don't know, something about it's giving off. And then I've also had times where I didn't realize he had all his hats on in the pictures to get on FaceTime. You look different without your hat, or you not smiling in none of your pictures. Why is that? And we get on FaceTime, it's just like.
But that's dating. That's like dating, though. Like you got to go through that process. It's no different than anything else. It's like
you know what I
mean.
But then, like whenever I ghost them, like I've had a lot of. I'm not gonna say stalkers, but I had a lot of weird interactions. Like, why you ghost me? Why you stop talking to me? I don't know you. What do you mean? Like it was very creepy. It's like, bro, I'm sorry if I misled you. I don't know if it's my fault or not. Based off one, like I said, I'm a good talker. Based off one good conversation, I guess these niggas in love. I don't know, but I don't know. It's weird.
Man. It's different, man. But some people have, like I said, I've still women I'm cool with, like straight up, and some people really find their partners off of that. So each their own, whatever works.
It works for some. Me, I don't see it working out.
No.
Yeah, I'm not saying you gotta know what works for you. So
God is gonna have to send a message directly and saying, get back on this app and look for this exact person on this exact day for me to ever get back on dating app, because that won't happen.
A letter in the mail. Signed.
Hey man, famous last words y'all talking about right now. I'm telling you. Y'all gonna look up all that stuff y'all saying. Y'all gonna look over there like, damn, here you are filling out a new profile.
No, I'm not.
I've literally deactivated my account not too long ago. Well, maybe like last year sometime, or maybe the beginning of this year. Deactivated my account. I've deleted the app several times, but I actually deactivated my account, and I was like, I'm not getting it back.
Nah, you
End up
about to
getting it back.
reactivate it, start that profile, match with the same niggas. You about to do all that. It's about to.
And that's why it's not for me. I did that. I'm like, this is sick. This is really, really sick.
Yeah.
And like I said, I think I done flipped through every nigga on the app in Atlanta area, like every single one.
And then
And
also, like, sometimes you can match with somebody and the conversation be really good. And then it's time to get off the app and get on the phone and you're like, oh no. There's no spark, there's no conversation. Like you're just a good texter and it's just like,
Yeah, man, on to the next.
yeah, but
It was
I
real.
just rather not do that.
There you
I'm
go.
gonna have to do the organic way.
There you go.
yeah, the organic way, which is, meeting in person. And the music videos. Okay, I got one more question because I asked my parents this last minute too. Do y'all feel like songs influence like how you feel about relationships? Because like you said, art imitates life, and that's another perfect. I didn't even really put this correlation together, but people don't want you to base what you want off of social media, movies, and TV shows. But then you shouldn't base what you want off songs. But everybody want a good love song. Everybody like 90s R&B for a reason because they like how it makes
Nah,
them feel.
listen, man. Find me somebody right now that don't like a good playlist, or tell somebody like somebody send you a playlist. Say I made this for you. Like absolutely,
Exactly.
like that's like playlists are a love language. You know what I mean? Like music is that. Like people speak through music. Like it says the words sometimes that we don't know how to say. So yeah, music
Yeah.
influence now the lifestyle and stuff, and it could be a negative thing too. Like I grew up in 2000 hip hop era. Like so it can
Mm-hmm.
have like it's like as I got older and started unpacking a lot of stuff. Like when some of your favorite songs are like not necessarily towards
The
the
beat.
you know the lifestyle that you want to live,
Mm-hmm.
it can be a lot to kind of get over. As a young man, you're very impressionable. Like you got to do certain things. Like you know what I mean. Even this, um, J. Cole got a song, man, "Too Deep for the Intro" on Friday Night Lights mixtape, and he's like, "Should I admit that a slutty chick was my first smash?" Like being a virgin was something to be embarrassed about. That was part of his lyrics. Like kind of like you
Mm-hmm.
caught up in that moment. Like get these chicks, like money, cash, hoes, like the whole nine. So it's a balance, man. It can go both ways, but the love story, the R&B, everybody wants to see the movie. Everybody wants to see the love story. They want to live that Love Jones life. They want to live that,
Period.
90s R&B life, the whole nine.
Yeah. Why you didn't say love and basketball?
I told you, man. Q ain't rock with Monica like that. If Monica saved that whole relationship, man. If it wasn't for Monica, that shit would have went south bad.
And see, that's what we mean about men need to speak up because, like, do you really like me if you're not speaking up?
Man, he had insecure. We said it in the episode. Like he had insecurity things too. A lot of men do. Like a lot of men are like afraid of rejection. I
You
think I talked about it. He did have
you
insecurity.
told me that
Like
one time.
yeah, because you got to think about it. Think about the whole like when they had that car ride in Love and Basketball in high school, talking about who they taking to the dance, the spring dance. Like you know what I mean. And even when they got to the spring dance, like oh I see you brought such and such. Like yeah, she asked. That's what Q said to Monica. She asked. Kind of like why you ain't asked. If you would have asked, I'd have went instead of him actually being the one to initiate it.
I got a word for that.
What's that?
It
Never
start
mind.
with
Don't even.
a P, end in a Y.
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. That is fair. That's a fair assessment.
Yeah, that's what it is. I don't know who's all on here. Hey, if y'all have any questions pertaining to this episode, you guys feel free to drop it while we still on here. And the topic was dating in the year 2023. Is it hard? Do you like it? What's up with it? Yeah, exactly.
She said, "Meow."
um,
Hey.
yeah, y'all like this was a long episode, and I didn't feel like it was a lot of questions too, but this was a long conversation. This was a long episode.
Yeah, man. I'm
Y'all,
old, man. I got me up past my bedtime.
I'm screaming. I
You know what
am
I'm
sorry.
saying?
I
I'm
didn't
old.
realize
I'm
like
an
what
old
time it
man.
was.
Nah, I'm messing with y'all.
Oh
Same
yeah, what
page.
time is it there?
Same time. We both on Eastern Standard Time.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Okay. Um, would y'all date outside your race? Girl, you already know my answer. The answer is no for the people that don't know. And like I said, I personally wouldn't even date outside of my culture because I don't know if I'm I'm not gonna say mature enough, and by culture I mean Black Southern American. I don't know if I could date a nigga from up north in New York. I don't know. So more specific, we're gonna narrow it down to a specific region
I mean, you
because
you
I
really
know New York.
like tightening your pool, man. You narrowing it down. That's why you having all these troubles. You got all these like clamps on your pool, your
It's
dating
But
pool.
I'll
okay.
say, in your defense, that I have encountered, I'm sorry, men from, different areas. And the Southern men got it. The Southern men, they got it. I dated someone from the Midwest
I
and
mean, y'all
North.
ain't.
No shade, not saying I'm opposed to it. All I'm saying
Yeah.
is they ain't have it. And I think it was just like
Yo,
it was just a different vibe.
I got a question.
Hmm.
Why y'all asking a Midwesterner to teach y'all class then?
Okay.
Well,
Well,
but
listen.
see, that's why I said it's
Nah,
not everybody.
nah. I'm messing with y'all. I'm giving y'all a hard time.
It's
It's
not
all good.
Yeah, I'm saying it's definitely
I'm
not
giving you
everybody.
I'm
I
giving you a
just
hard time.
you might be the good one. You probably the
yeah.
good one.
And Midwest, I feel like that's a little country, because it's Missouri. I don't know, that's not the South, but I feel like Missouri is country, and I feel like Ohio is kind of like, it's not New York, is what I'm saying. I feel
That's it.
like,
We ain't East Coast. We ain't East Coast.
there we go. I'm not gonna say New York niggas scare me, but they don't exactly let me come running to them either,
In
okay?
Cincinnati,
Because who you,
we right by Kentucky too. We right there in Kentucky's south.
exactly. I consider that to be like, kind of culturally the South. Because do you know how to mow grass?
Yeah. What you talking about?
All right, that's the point. You see what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, I don't feel like nigga who grew up in New York know how to mow grass,
Like, 'cause they don't
and
got
that's like
yards.
that. Ex-
But
that ain't my
that's
problem.
something important. You know what I'm saying? It's something that's important. Something that checks off one of the little
Yeah,
boxes on my list. Can you go out there and mow that grass?
you just gotta be that nigga for me to change my mind about certain things. Of course, there's always an exception. I don't even know the exception to the rule, but for the most part, for the most part, and like I was saying, coaching, like I couldn't see myself dating outside my culture because I don't got time for a fight as to see whose culture better than who, or for you to tell me how your culture is and you expect for me to accept it because it's your culture. Because I wouldn't want you to do the same for mine. Like, and I seen this conversation recently. It was like, Jamaican men, it's culturally acceptable for them to catch a wine, but you're not gonna be my man catching a wine. I don't care
Yeah.
if you are, you know, from
Hey,
Afghanistan. I
K
don't
Rock.
care. Like,
K Rock funny, man. You funny.
it's
Yeah, no,
it's just not my thing. It's not my thing. Don't force me to accept it because it's not gonna happen. But yeah. I mean, like I said, it's always an exception. I don't even know the exception, so I'm not really closing it. But the race part, the still is done.
yeah.
You know. Okay, here. This is a good analogy. Okay, so the race is the window, right? The race is the window, but the culture part is blinds. Like I may open a blind for the right nigga. You know what I'm saying?
But that window is not
Right. The window
might need a little sunshine. But that window,
you know,
we don't need the breeze.
exactly. So I feel like that's my analogy when it comes to that. And Ro, you laughing. And then somebody said, oh wait, did y'all all answer? I think we all answered that. The question, you wasn't here, Key, but everybody said no, they weren't dead outside their race. What was the other question? What's the instant deal breaker? At this point in my life, a baby. You're not having no baby, no sir.
Hold on, you mean coming with a child or you mean having one while you talking to you?
Both.
All right, so you ain't dating nobody with no kids?
Not right now in this very moment in my life. No.
Okay.
Mm-mm. Um, what else is a deal breaker? La, 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 la. I want you to have. I don't want you to be doing nothing illegal. Like, you know, I prefer not to be the ride or die type chick if I don't have to, so I'm not going to. Um, what's the instant like right away deal breaker for me besides those two? It's a lot. But those were the two that just caught my attention. What about y'all?
I agree.
Like I said, man, how you treat people, like if you rude to people, that's a deal
Mm-hmm.
breaker. bad communication, that's a deal breaker. You need some hobbies too, man. You gotta like have something that you want to do in life. Like go join a book club. Like you can't just be constantly on some like what you doing. Like and I like seriously like have some a little bit of ambition. So that's pretty much it.
Mm.
Like I said, I'm pretty laid back, man. I'm pretty chill.
Chill. When niggas say he chilling,
I just be chilling, man. I don't do much. I don't do much, man. I don't do
That's
much.
giving. I do a lot.
I chill, man. I promise you. I just be chilling, man. That's why I mind my business and that's it.
Mm.
Live my life.
Tia, what about you?
Some instant deal breakers, I would definitely say lack of communication.
Oh, I got some more deal breakers. Sorry,
It really turns me off. I will say this. It really turns me off when like I don't know if I want to say that publicly. I might not want to say that publicly. No, I'm gonna keep that one to myself. So I'm gonna just say lack of communication for the
Say it.
Okay, lack of communication.
Anyways, boo, you suck. Okay, some more deal breakers. I said I'm gonna just start asking niggas right off the rip, and I have done it. She can be witness. I'm gonna ask you, are you homophobic? Because that's an instant deal breaker. I don't got time to be explaining why gay people should be able to breathe, like, and they can stand around you. They ain't studying you. I don't got time for that. Homophobic. If you're a colorist and if you're not pro-black.
Yeah, those are
So yeah, and I ask those questions right off gate, like, because I don't got time to like you, then maybe change my standards later on. No, I'm gonna ask you right off bat, like, because if any of those boxes don't check off, I don't see the point of moving forward. Like, what's the point? Oh, and if you are bisexual, I can see myself. That's
You live in Atlanta. You live in Atlanta.
I knew it. Everybody always go there. I got to. Like, no offense. Don't take no offense to it, but I personally would not date a bisexual man. Like, and I'm not. What is it? Biphobic? No, I just wouldn't do it. But
There's a bi. There's a thing. It's biphobic. That's a real thing.
I think
Is that the same? I figure that's the same as homophobic.
Yeah. Because I feel like some homophobic people don't like bisexual people. They don't think bisexuality is a real thing. And I feel like that's ignorant. Like, I think, because, I don't know. That's a whole different topic. But yeah. Yeah. But I guess it is a thing when I said it like that. A preference, exactly. But when it comes to skin complexion, like I said, I feel like I talked about this before. There is no such thing as a preference when it comes to skin color. That's a whole different gate. But, yeah. I don't have a preference when it comes to skin tone, light skin, dark skin. That don't matter. I'll date somebody who's biracial though. I would. I'll date a biracial. It just depends on obviously what he's like.
Okay, Rob, they gonna make a TV show about your life, man. About your dating life.
Oh my God! I'm just so curious as to what they gotta say.
I promise
what they gonna say?
I don't know, this shit. This shit gonna be interesting. It's gonna be
man,
must watch. I know that much. It's gonna be funny.
Maybe I do need I do need my own show. So somebody need to get behind me and sponsor me because I guess I got a lot to say. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
I guess that's why we here, right?
Cause it sound like they're going through it.
Who?
You putting them through it.
Oh, I just asked you to be black, not homophobic, and not bisexual, and not be a.
No, I'm not even talking about all that stuff. I'm just taking the whole conversation, and I can open imagine. Like, I would love to talk to somebody that you dated before, just have the conversation over a drink or something, man. Like, how was that experience? How was that experience?
They're gonna say she was a fun time, but I wasn't man enough for her.
See what I mean?
That's what they're gonna say. If they don't say that, they're liars.
See what I mean? Like, look, somebody right now making a podcast the same way like this. They having a podcast about your ass.
Hey, how y'all doing? If I would love, I got a nigga for you. You can talk to him and ask him. He wasn't man enough. He wanted.
What is it? May 1st?
May 1st.
May 1st. Yeah. Send them my way.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. You remember that word I said started with a P and ended in a Y?
Yeah.
Okay,
then. Hey, listen, man. Be like that. I can't speak on that. I don't know nothing about that.
Period. And that's like
episode idea. What, y'all? What's the episode idea? To get somebody associated with on here? One of my pen pals? Y'all want one of my pen pals on here?
Nah. I want to talk to like somebody who's been in the trenches.
Mm.
Yeah, man. They probably got PTSD.
Well, you know, have you seen Deliver Us from Evil? And
Yeah,
LL Cool J, he went.
we almost did that next week for the pod, but we ain't gonna do it.
Well, he stood the test of time, and you know, people say Amanda Seals was hard to deal with. Look at her and her man. Look at her and her man. I don't feel like my standards are high. I just don't
Nah,
feel
I
like
don't think I'm not even. Nah, listen, everybody should have high standards and like.
Huh? You said what, Tiara?
No, I didn't say anything.
Oh, Nadia said she making niggas scared to talk. I'm not. And if they scared, like I said, they're not for me. Because I'm not nobody to be scared of. I'm really and truly, Rich, you may have to exit out and come back in here. But I'm really and truly, I feel like I'm an open, fun person. You know? Am I open and fun?
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. So I feel like anybody who thinks otherwise, like you literally just not, you just wasn't it. Like, Lord. I'm screaming. That's funny. Because this is interesting. Not me getting put on spot on my own show. What did you say, Keith? Why do more black, wait, what did he say? Oh, he said he butchered the question. So you're gonna rewrite it? Why do black men aren't dating relationship men? Okay, yeah, rewrite that question real quick. Now he got on here on the Culture Guardian podcast.
Why do more black men? Yeah, I don't know what is being said.
I think, excuse me, he's gonna rewrite the question.
Okay.
Did I accept it? Okay, I accepted it.
Am I on the Culture Garden?
Yeah.
Let me get out of here then.
Okay. He got on here on the podcast page. Okay. Yeah, we're finna close this episode out whenever he get back on so we can say our proper, goodbyes. And whenever he rewrite that special question. And Nadia said, can a special guest come in here? Of course. My baby could come in here. Ziggy. I think she's want to bring Ziggy on here. He need to be asleep. Y'all heard my lip throat. Can you rewrite the question? I didn't write the question. Okay.
My own
So I'm gonna have Keebler rewrite the question. Did you try to make out? Okay, there we go. Okay. Basically, why do y'all think black men aren't dating black women? I've noticed more of my male peers have been getting engaged to different races.
I don't have no say on that because I don't know. Maybe that's what they're attracted to. I don't know.
Say, I love black women, so I can't speak on that.
Yeah, I don't know. Hey, but weed them out.
I'm not trying to be funny. I should name a section. That should be one of my segments. I'm not trying to be funny, but I did hear black men who date outside their race because they think they're easier to deal with. And to me, that just means they're not man enough to handle somebody who got an opinion. That's just what that means to me. And that's just how we as black women are raised to, voice our opinions. And some women in their cultures, they are not. I don't know. But like he said, they ain't got shit to do with me. I'm not one of those. I don't know if I ever used to be. Maybe I have. But, I don't think about interracial couples. But I will say, am I going to say that? No, I ain't going to say that. That's what you think? Okay, exactly.
My shit all messed up.
Huh?
I'm trying to get on y'all same. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, okay.
I just switched. My phone died, man.
Oh yeah, I think I saw you looking at that. Yeah, my phone it held up a good battery percentage because my headphones were plugged into my phone, y'all. But if nobody else has, and he got 6 people, like I said, y'all, we had a good number staying on here steadily. This is going to be a long episode, and I don't think I have nothing to edit out, so we good. And I was gonna put it on YouTube tonight, but I gotta go to bed super early. So as soon as I get on here, I'm really gonna wrap it up and go to bed.
Super early? It's 11. What you talking about?
You
super
said
early
what?
to you? You said super early. It's 11:07. What's super early to you?
What time I got to get up?
Oh, you thought you said you got to go to bed super early. I'm like, it's already
Oh,
11.
I do. It's super early to me.
But what's super early to you? What time you normally go to bed?
Hmm?
What time you, huh? What time you normally go to bed?
After 2 o'clock.
All right, man. To be young
I don't
again.
know.
To be young again.
No, it's a Michaela problem. I promise. It's a me problem.
Get your 8 hours, man. Get your sleep. Get your rest.
Yeah, I definitely need to get
Yeah,
my sleep. But
Keebler says you be up.
I do, and everybody notices about me, which is that's crazy. And okay, come in. You don't gotta knock. Stop knocking. Stop knocking. She finna bring a special guest. Yeah, you do be up too. Hey, Boogie. And then we're gonna get out. Somebody wanna make a special appearance. Come on, Boogie. Say hey. Hey, Zickaman. Say hey. Say what's up, y'all. You gonna say hey? This is my nephew.
But he looking
This
like,
is my only kid. Huh?
So he looking like, man, y'all done got me on these podcasts already.
Hey, Sig.
Oh, boy, you look white. Good. Hey. You gonna say bye-bye? Say bye-bye. You gonna blow a kiss?
Mwah.
Okay. You gonna blow a kiss? You look like, what's that? All right. I see you in a little bit. You need to be asleep. Okay. But all right, y'all. That is all for tonight. And thank y'all again on here for being on here. I really enjoyed this episode. Rich, we're gonna have to get you on here some more. Cause yeah, and then I wanna get I said Ray P. Yeah.
Yeah,
Ray P and Scoob on here. Cause I want, new faces.
I'll pass the word. You know what I'm saying? It was a pleasure. I know that you put a lot into the podcast and your show and everything like that. So I've always told you, off the record, off recording, should I say, like, salute to you. Just keep going, keep doing your thing, keep living in your passion. You know what I mean? Don't let anything deter you. If that's what you want to do, you know what I'm saying? The same way you treat these dudes, man. Just keep going after it, man, until you get what you want. But yeah, anything you need, man, anything I can do to help, honestly, man, just reach out. Like it's not a thing.
Thank you so very
Shout
much. I
out
appreciate
to
that.
Ray
Y'all
P. What's up, Ray?
now she got on here late.
Yeah. She said,
I didn't know you was on here. Hey, girl.
Yeah, man.
Okay, I will be contacting you.
Yeah, man. Oh, man, you talk about it, man. Y'all, man. Sheesh.
We're gonna have a good time.
My goodness, man. The way you was talking, y'all two get combined, this shit might explode.
We're gonna have a great time.
They're gonna report your page by the time that shit finished.
They might. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if somebody reported me before. I always wonder, like, who muted me on Twitter? Because y'all know, like, I recently deactivated my Twitter. And my friends, they wanted me to, like, reactivate my Twitter because I've said some wild and ruthless things on there. But that's behind me. I'm not the same person no more. I am not the same person no more. I am changed. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. But I do want to give out, I know I said, shout out to you and appreciate you having me on here. I really do just want to give a shout out to Ray P. Shout out to School, man, co-host of the Culture Garden Podcast. If y'all not hit, please get hit at the Culture Garden Podcast on Instagram. And we got y'all television program. We're talking about Your Honor right now. We're talking about Harlem, which comes on Prime. Those are my dogs, man. So yeah, Ray, you see her tipping on in, creeping on in, man. I said it at the beginning of this episode, man. She's a star, like an absolute star, and it's a pleasure. Not only to be her friend, man. I've known Rachel half my life, so I'm sure our chemistry comes through the microphone and it comes through the speakers. I love Rachel to death, and I think she's only scratching the surface of everything that she's gonna be doing. So if y'all not hip to her now, man, you definitely will, like, at some point, because she's like an undeniable star, man. Makes everything so much easier for me.
And I appreciate her for voting on my post. She been voting on my post. I be seeing you, girl. I'm like, because I love when people vote on my posts. It's just, make me feel good when people vote on my posts. But yes, I don't even know. I think we had this conversation before, but I don't even know how I started following you. Like, I don't know where y'all podcast came from. I have no idea.
I always want to ask people that, like, because there's a ton of people that I can't see, like, how, who shares what. So I'm always curious as to how people even found us. especially
no
like
idea.
not even in the region. Because most people that I've talked to on a consistent, they not people I know personally, they're people I just know through the pod. So I would always like if you can think about that story of when you found Culture Garden, like that would be dope because I'm always curious as to when that happened or how.
I have no, but I have been telling my friends about it. I'm like, because I do have like a lot of friends who like black films, you know, movies in general. And I'm like, I tell them like, y'all need to go listen to this podcast. So I have definitely shared y'all before, like personal.
Appreciate you, thank you. That means a lot because we really care about it. You know what I mean? That's why we keep going every week because we have a passion for it. You know we're pretty good at it, if I humbly say. Um,
Period. You know,
and you know we bring a real conversation. Like it's not like some cookie cutter shit. It's not like manufactured or made up. It's authentic. That's why we don't discuss anything before we actually record. We want to have that real conversation, and we don't have any restrictions. Like we talking to y'all like the way we describe it. Me and Rachel say it all the time. Me and School say it all the time. Like we're gonna have those conversations anyway. We just bringing everybody else into it. So the fact that y'all get to join them and just like have those opinions too, that just makes it fun. Like one of the best compliments I've ever received about the podcast is like someone's like, I was in my car listening and I just kept yelling at my stereo. And I'm like, bet that's what we want y'all to do. Like, we want y'all to like agree, disagree, like just be passionate about it because it's all stuff that we love. You know what I mean?
that's
Like,
what you said you did to mine. I was like, wow, you just had commentary about my podcast. Like, my
yeah. Like, so I say you never know who watching, you never know who listening, how it might affect things. Like, so you got to keep going, man. The only thing that separates people is people that don't stop. Like, so if you keep going, you believe it, you know, sky's the limit, man. Just have some vision. And if it's not for you, it's not for you. Maybe it just be a pathway to what you're supposed to be doing.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like everything's a training ground or a learning ground. Like if you didn't do, every college course got prerequisites. You know
yeah.
what I mean? Like you got to do that work in order to get where you want to go. So, that's the mindset we keep, and I'm excited to see where you're gonna go. I told you like early, like when I saw you were serious about it, that's when I hit you up like on the DM one day and say, yo, like if you ever need any help, any questions, hit me up. Like I got you. You know what I'm saying? We've had
I
conversations
appreciate it.
since. So like really for real, like just keep focused and doing your thing.
Thank you. Because, well, we could talk about that off camera. We'll talk about it off camera.
Yeah.
But thank you guys again for being on here. Tierra, thank you for being an amazing guest as usual.
Thanks.
Sierra,
And
pleasure. It was a pleasure meeting you,
You
Sierra.
as well.
yeah, I will see y'all next time. Bye.